Hello, 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 everybody. We have Christian Antilla with Valden's Sister Lot. Nice track that I found the other day while watching an episode of a series here on YouTube entitled Pretty Good. Pretty Good is a series that is on SB Nation. It's made by John Boyce, and it focuses on stories that are pretty good. So, how's everybody doing today? We have a lot going on. Today is the start of the 2019 and the final bid war. So, here's how this works for those who are uninitiated, and be prepared for me to explain this often because, hey, you gotta let people know what's going on. To your left, you have 4 video options. Now, these videos would be made during the same week as the retirement video, which is the top whatever of 2019. That video. You bid on which one that you want to see made the most badly. The one that has the most at the end of the month of September is guaranteed to be made. But I like to have a little bit of fun. I like to give you guys the option to get everything that you want. Every video that makes and raises $600 is guaranteed to be made, and if all 4 happen to be met, there will be an additional bonus prize, bonus video that will be created also. Rip Notebook, nice to see you, man. How are you doing? How's it going? How's it been for you? Life has been very non-stop. I agree with that sentiment completely because it has been insane over here. There's been way too many things going on and not nearly enough time to address or handle all of it. Let's get that going there. Ghost Fixter, how are you? Nice to see you today. I am in a kitty wonderland right now, so I am a bit happier than I was maybe just 5 minutes ago before I hit yes. Is Striptease 2 the bonus video? No, Prime Sloth, it is not. I'm sorry. The event 2 may just randomly happen in one stream. But right now, if I pan around, kitties everywhere. Not a bad problem to have. Not a bad problem to have. Well, until one of them knocks over the camera or something like that. Or until 2 of them decide they want to fight. Mittens. Hey, not right now. Keep walking. Good boy. Is the bid war going to happen every day? Yes. Yeah, the only thing that changes from day-to-day activities is that now, whenever you donate, you put number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. That's the one that you are supporting with your funds. Even if you don't necessarily care for any of those options, put a number in if you do choose to donate, if you do choose to do that. First of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. All funds are being utilized in the ongoing saga of getting the fuck out of here. That's another part of the long story, which is my life and never stops. Cheers, by the way. Good old water. That's the first victim. See ya. 2019 Jerks not on the list. The 2019 Jerks video guacamole will happen either way. That's just a yearly. That's just a yearly thing. That's just a yearly thing. Oh, hey, the ones that are listed there, those are the videos that are on the docket. Those are the ones that are on the docket. So, unfortunately, that is immovable. So yeah, the 2019 Rock and Metal Jerks is going to happen sometime between now and then anyway. That is a yearly tradition that we started about 5 years ago, and we are going to continue it. I may need some input in order to get that list together. So if you are a member of the CCAN Facebook group, do not be surprised if you get yourself a bit of a ringy-ding. So there you go. After the year is over, Riff Notebook, there is a very high possibility that the stream every now and again would still occur, yes. That is one thing that is true. Basically, the retirement is mostly just from making videos actively. That is obviously going to take a little bit of a hit in those who may want to come out and watch a stream. But, yeah, I'd still stream for all of you guys every once in a while because I enjoy doing it. It is very much therapeutic for me to come in front of you guys and, talk for a bit and have some fun, because we don't talk about just music on here. We talk about life. We discuss things that are going on. Like, we have ourselves a big-ass hurricane that just barely missed Florida. Had my uncle and my aunt, who were up here visiting, extremely nervous considering they live on the Atlantic coast of Florida. However, everything seems to be okay there. I do know, however, that points to the north are not as lucky, especially in what looks to be South and southern North Carolina. Seem to be getting rocked by a lot of storm surge, a lot of rain, and some pretty hefty storms that are putting down some tornadoes. So definitely keep those folks in your thoughts if you happen to be an American. But this is quite the interesting year that we have had. The streams may... Interesting. Thank you. It's National Cheese Day, apparently. Yay. The live streams being easier and more fun is a bit true. I make a little bit more... I make it a little bit more difficult than I think it needs to be sometimes, considering I do things very... not any of the things that you see on here are automatic. The only thing that's automatic is me pressing the stream button and the stream beginning. That's about as automatic as this gets. So I add and do the math myself. I shift all the totals myself. I do make it a little bit... I think I make a little bit more work for myself than I really necessarily need to. But, hey. All in all, it is a more comfortable experience. I don't get nearly as frustrated doing this because if I make a mistake, it's live. And I kind of just have to roll with it. You're bald as well? Mine's just in the front. And it has stayed this way for the past couple of years, so I don't think it's necessarily going to change very much. One thing that I think really attributed to my front here kind of dissipating a bit. Back whenever I worked at the music store, and again, this is how you can tell it was a corporate chain store as opposed to like an independent shop, they had some big-time qualms about my long hair. They didn't care that I had it, but they cared that it wasn't up in a tight ponytail. That is the only way that they would accept it. And the strands that were up front were always a different length than the strands in the back. That's just kind of... My hair would get to a certain point in the front, and then it would just stop. Like, it wouldn't grow any further. So if you saw a strand of mine from 5 years ago or 6 years ago in the front, it's not going all the way down the back like the other stuff was. So tight ponytails were kind of necessary, and I think that led to some strands becoming very weak. And some of the other aspect of it is probably just genealogy. My father isn't bald. Nowhere close, in fact. None of his hair is even being chased from his head, really. But I am adopted. So I have no idea if my 14-year-old father, because apparently my birth parents were extremely young whenever they had me. He right now could be as He could be a freaking, pool, a cue ball. You know what I'm saying? So, what can you really do? What can you really do? You kind of just have to roll with it and work with it. And plus, one of the biggest truths I've always learned is that those who are on the internet that like to really throw a lot of comments, especially negative ones, about somebody's appearance, tend to be the ones that are afraid to turn on the camera and show themselves to the world, because they know that they're going to probably receive the same treatment. So, it's a rule of thumb that, even without being proven through actual results, is proven just by desirability. It's proven just through the way in which it is handled in general. So the bid war, there's 4 titles that are over there that are available. The first one is CKN's Top 50 Albums of All Time. This was recommended by some folks over on the Facebook page. I really, really like the idea. I did a 25 albums of all time back in, I believe, 2011. It's been a long time. It deserves an update. It deserves to be expanded. If we make it to $600, it's guaranteed to happen. The second one is #1 albums from 2000 to 2000. Oh, wait, that's supposed to be 2010. Uh-oh. Basically, it's ranking the albums of the year from each year of the channel. I need to remember which is which. I am stupid. Is it you? No. Fuck. It's you. But yeah, it's supposed to be 2010. So basically, I would take every album of the year from the days that the channel it existed, best word, and we would put them ranked from 1 to, I believe, would be 11, and that would include 2019. So that might create some havoc. That might end up being the real final video of the channel. This has the opportunity to shift things a little bit. But that's #2. Again, $600 guaranteed that it gets made. Third one is Top 25 Albums of the 2010s. This is going to focus on the decade that we were in business, and we're going to discuss the best albums that are from that decade. And if I'll make a deal with you guys so it doesn't become excessively redundant. If #2 and #3 both get met, I'll ensure that #2, being a separate video, is almost like the top 10 or the top 11, and we'll make sure that the 25 albums that we talk about in #3 are all different than album of the years. So it would become the top 25 albums of the 2010s that weren't album of the years or something weird like that. You let me worry about titles. And #4, the top 10 metal idiots of all time, a retrospective toward a series that Guacamole brought up a little bit earlier, the top 10 rock and metal jerks. This would be one that would encompass all. So it would go beyond just what happened during the time that we talked about jerks. We would take everything into account, and we would produce the top 10 biggest offenders of all time. Now you might wonder, what's the bonus video and how do we achieve it? It's very, very simple. If we make it to $2,400, that's if all 4 videos make it to the $600 cut line, where they become guaranteed, I'm going to toss in an additional video. So that #4, that's a guaranteed rant, and you know that, but we'll toss in, just for fun, as #5, we'll toss in something along the lines of the top 10 best rants of all time. Either that or something else that's rant worthy. Could even be something that's voted in from you guys. So with that being said, we will probably not do the Listmania idea that I was talking about on Tuesday. I thought about doing that in a smaller capacity. I'm thinking that may not have any realistic potential to happen. That might just be a little bit too much, considering I still have a lot from the previous Listmania to edit and to post for you guys. I still have some to record as well. I don't know if we're going to get another Listmania in before the end of the year. It's going to highly depend on how productive I am here in September. And September is going to be a big month. We're going to have a number of streams. I'm hoping for at least 8, this being the first one. And the reason why there's no number to track them down there in the title is because I'm pretty much just going to stream whenever I can, which means that we could easily have a week where we have 3 or 4 streams, and then we could have another week where we have 1 or 2. I'm kind of jostling this around my schedule, considering there is a ton of other things that need to be addressed channel-wise, whether it's shooting, editing, rendering, posting, getting to some of the stuff that I owe you, talking about some of the albums that are coming out, like White Ward comes out tomorrow, Korn comes out next week, just as a pair of examples. There are still some things that I want to talk about. If I don't get to everything, don't get mad at me. I'm doing all that I can. I'm doing all that I can. So I'm going to be working extremely hard this month to try to get ahead to where maybe we can do one more Video Mania, as I know you guys really loved that last year. But I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee anything. This might have to be the closest thing to Video Mania that we have. But, hey. We have no music playing, and that is, that makes me sad. That makes me sad. So we're going to toss something on. I'm going to toss on a little bit of music. Let's see here. What have I been thinking about lately? What have I been playing lately? Oh, yeah, you know what? Thought Industry. I just got an album from these guys. Outer Space is Just a Martini Away. It's an older album off of Metal Blade Records, but this is Satan in the Gift Shop from Thought Industry. It's almost saddening to know that this is from their last album, and it is ridiculously expensive. It is ridiculously expensive. I have one of those mix and burn copies from whenever I worked at the store. Now I know I have to amp that up a little bit. The Riff Notebook coming in with the $2 for Silent Planet and Darkstrand. Riff, you did everything right, except tell me which one you are looking at. Which one is that $2 going to? We'll get to it after Satan in the Gift Shop by Thought Industry. I love this song. Number 1, Por Favor, I Can Do. This song was the first song from Thought Industry I ever heard, and it is still one of my favorites to this day. I do appreciate Perused Mist. It's going to be weird not making videos, and as I've kind of stated a lot, either in streams or whenever people have asked, I feel like I'm still going to post like updates and stuff like that. You know, I'll still have the occasional post that'll pop up, video should I say. I'd almost like to maybe just dedicate the channel to tracking like purchases that I get. I'm doing a thing personally called the 1180, which is 1180 albums that I had listed that I wanted to buy back in 2004 and 2005, and I think it'd be kind of cool just to document the ones that I get throughout a week or throughout a couple periods, you know what I mean? Maybe it would have to take a couple of weeks to accumulate some, just make it a longer video, very minimum editing, if any at all, you know, just toss it up and that's that. I'm not going to be reviewing any longer after Album of the Year 2019. I'm still going to stream from time to time. Basically, I am taking a long break and probably not coming back whenever it comes to reviewing. I feel very robotic. You know, it feels like I say a lot of the same things over and over again, because that's kind of what reviewing is, you know. That's sort of what reviewing is. There's only so many ways in which you can fry an egg. So, I kind of just like the whole idea of maybe taking it easy, post a little bit more maybe about the Cats or about the 1180 and my quest to get some of these different albums that I've, you know, eluded my collection, you know, maybe do a couple of, here's the thing that I really want to do, okay? This is just between you and me, and this is going to happen sooner rather than later. We're getting out of this apartment, because this apartment's turned into a death trap. That's a whole nother reason why I'm stressed to fucking bits. I have no idea, Riff Notebook. Another reason for my stress is the fact that this place is just a death trap. I need to get out of here. And there's a place that I'm looking at right now, which is a house, which is a hell of a step up. It's going to pull, oh man. Why do you think we're doing a bid war right now? Because holy shit, if this is going to happen, I need help. But it'd be really cool to take you guys on a tour of it. And also, finally, because this is something that I've never had in any of the Studio 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, whatever you want to call it. I have never had my full collection in one place ever since I moved out. And that was almost 10 years ago. So, wow. That alone will be a huge deal for me. Because I know y'all have been asking about a collection video for a long time, and the reason why it never really happens is because accessing all of it, it requires car rides and moving a lot of stuff. Yeah, Riff, I would just, if you're still having trouble with that, maybe restart the stream. That might be something to do with, like something stuck on YouTube's end. I know that YouTube is, you know, brilliant. But, that would be my guess. But hey, take a look, guys. We're already 1% of the way toward number 1 being guaranteed to be made. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's fun. What the hell's happening? Yummy Man Not As, thanks for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I appreciate that. And I see that we have $12 from Maru coming in. I think it came in just as I was about to get PayPal up. I appreciate it in advance, Maru. This is going to a number 1. She wants to hear Songs the Night Sings from the Dark Element. As her comment is, this is what it sounds like when you combine Nightwish, Sonata Arctica, and ABBA. And number 2, Song 2, Poets of the Fall, Illusion and Dream. Does this song describe your journey in YouTube? Just by title alone? Probably. Yeah, I would say so. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That is awfully amazing. I'm floored by anything. I'm very easily impressed. You can't see those numbers very clearly, can you? I wonder what would happen if I switch this up a little bit. Oh, that is much better. Hell yeah! Oh, that little color change just freaking makes it so much nicer. I'll tell you another thing that'll make it nicer. Oh, not that. Put that over there. Put that over there. Put that over there. See? I have to adjust this all on the fly. Why do you think that stuff doesn't look straight? Do you think that doesn't bother me? Hell yeah, it bothers me. It fucking pisses me off. I'm not OCD, but I sure act like I am. Never comes a little shit like that. Uh-oh, Pull Me Under starting to try to get itself in there. Hey, you didn't donate for that, YouTube. Jesus. Dark Strand by Silent Planet. Let us see what we got here. This is from the Riff Notebook. He has placed it to number 1. Everybody so far has placed their donations toward number 1, all 2 people. And I thank you once again. I do appreciate it. I just was reminded that I had to do... Just had to do a big old transfer this morning. Yuck. I was going to say, this is a lot of build for what's going to happen. Yeah, Riff, do what you got to do, man. Looks like it is just going to be giving you some issues, Riff. We have Rope Ends by Pain of Salvation, $2, heading toward number 1. Number 1 is currently running away with it. Gets its first 20. It is now officially somewhat there. I completely and totally just failed math. Because I'm good at that. $6 was 1%. It's at 3.5% or something like that. Oh, Super Chat isn't letting you complete the thing? Oh, that's on YouTube side. Thanks, YouTube. Man, do I appreciate you. If you have PayPal guacamole, hit up the PayPal link. That is still working 100% fine. And there might be ways that you can use that without PayPal. I am not totally sure. Guacamole, I would also say, hey, if you can, maybe refresh the stream and see if that helps. If you did that already, then PayPal is your best option, my friend. I apologize for anything that is going wrong with Super Chats, although I can also tell you I have zero control over that. I unfortunately have no control over that at all. I can maybe... Can I try it? I mean, I have the button down here. Wow. I could send money to my own stream. Why in the world? I know why they offer that. Never mind. That was about to be a really, really stupid question. It's obvious why. Because Super Chat takes 30% of the money, which means that if you use your own money, you're not getting all of it. So basically you're paying $1 to get 70 cents. That's dumb. That's real stupid. That's real stupid. Would they think I'm stupid? They must think I'm stupid. Yeah, I leave that open for anybody who chooses that wants to use it. If that's your only option or anything like that. I want to give people options. I want to give them options. Options. What's that new one these days? A Cash App or something like that? What's the one that all the college girls or the college boys they want you to send money? I see all these stories that people post on Facebook from Tinder app, the Tinder app, where I guess you do the swiping left and right and all that shit. What's the new cash service where all those teens want you to send it to prove that it's quote unquote real, whatever the hell that means. I'm assuming that means you have to send them money just to like even have a shot. Oh, Venmo, yeah. Okay, Venmo. That might be it. We have Below from Leprous coming up next. This is brand spanking new. Not to mention, Leprous has a brand new album that will be coming out, and it will be coming out this fall, which means that we will be talking about it for sure. Hell yeah. So this is entitled Below from Leprous. It was just released 6 days ago. Oh boy, the video has a door in it. Means it's going to be good. It's guaranteed. It is guaranteed that it is going to be a good one. The camera goes in weird directions because one of my cats is sniffing at it currently. I have already heard some reports about what this Leprous album is. I will not share because that's no fun. Lazy, don't bite the camera, you silly. Have I heard it yet? I have not. I have not heard it yet. I have not gotten my promo copy yet. Which some other folks have, so it makes me wonder if I'm going to receive one at all. So I may have to look into that. I know that I just got... I get dumped with stuff like early in the morning usually every day, and then it sort of streams a bit throughout the course of the day. It's mostly stuff that I would have loved to have covered if I had the time. Oh, you mean below? No, this is my cherry is popped. My cherry's been popped, so yes, I've heard this. But I do know somebody who has received the promo already. He's also received the promo of the new Opeth album. I like what I heard him say about it. Well, saw him type about it. So that right there should tell you that it's there's some good things ahead. And this right here kind of takes on the same atmosphere as the Congregation. Listen to that slow crawl, that almost doom-laden approach. Very Congregation style. Gotta respect that. You know I do. You know I love this stuff. Well, no super chat today. Oh well. Like I said, if you hit up the PayPal link that you see at the bottom part of the screen, that is 100% A-OK. That is useful, and the best part about it is that 30% of your money is not going to YouTube. My thoughts on Starset. I heard their first album was kind of like, you know. I don't think they're bad. It's just that I didn't really get much into them. I also haven't, in the past, I would say year, gone back and listened to them at all. So, it's one of those things where I probably have to do that just to see if my feelings change, or have changed any on the group. But I know Starset's kind of, not really that they're popular, but they are, they achieved a little bit of moderate success. So, hey, good for them. I remember stalking their very first album whenever I worked at the store, so they've been around for half a decade or so at least. And maybe that's where I made the mistake, Riff Notebook, is that I listened to the first album and it was kind of bland to the point where I thought, I really don't know if I'm going to listen to the second album. I think you've requested a couple of the songs from the second album, and my feelings have been a little more positive toward them. Oh, but just listen to that vocal line. Good Lord. That crawl is just phenomenal. That crawl almost feels like it's out of the My Dying Bride playbook. What are my thoughts on the upcoming Hell Yeah record? Hell Yeah has been really inconsistent. So, my thoughts are, as I really don't know what to expect. Which Hell Yeah is going to show up. You know? They've had albums that have really been good little surprises, like nice little surprises, and others that have just been terrible. There have been others that have just been terrible. Moron Police? I don't know. You're getting to see it, Chapter 2 tomorrow? We're actually gonna go see Scary Stories in the Dark. We were going to see Chapter 2, but only if the drive-in packaged it together with Scary Stories in the Dark, which seems like it would make sense because they're both horror films that were just released. However, and I don't look at this as a bad move. I think this makes a lot of sense. Most places around here, what they're doing is they're either putting it together with Annabelle, which is there a new Annabelle film out, or would this be packaged in with like the old Annabelle? I don't know. Or they're putting it together with It Chapter 1. So they're having both of them as a back-to-back drive-in double feature, which I think makes a lot of sense. Convincing Miss CKN is impossible in that nomenclature because she thinks it would make more sense to have the two newer movies together. But hey, I'm not here to play games, I guess. I don't know. Oh, there is a new one? Okay. Well, then in that case, that kind of makes a little more sense too. I don't know. I'm more so along for the ride, if I'm being honest with you, because Scary Stories in the Dark looks like it's going to be pretty fun, but to me it was a film that I would have been better off or happier just renting. You know, like after it came out, maybe go into one of the remaining red boxes in the area and just renting it. You know, spending $1 as opposed to spending like 10. Michael Bernardo, how you doing? How's it going? Why does the X Factor judge have beef with Slipknot? I have no idea. I don't watch most of that stuff. I watch a lot of television. We get into the dark element with Songs the Night Sings coming up next. This is requested from Maru. She put hers toward number 1. You didn't even watch chapter... Here's the thing, like, chapter 1 was pretty good. Like, I remember being pretty satisfied with what my experience was with it. But we just watched through the original, the miniseries. We just watched through that a couple nights back. And it makes me not want to see Chapter 1 ever again. And kind of leaves me thinking, I could kind of go without seeing Chapter 2 and be fine. It's not even like based off that idea as, oh, the originals are so much better. Hey, what's going on back there? Lazy. Oh, she's laying down. Anyway. Emo, what are you thinking about doing? I can evacuate the room with kitties. I don't want to, but I can. I can make that a thing. But anyway, it was it was a good movie. But again, it's not one that I see myself going back to with the frequency of the original. Like whenever I think about it, I don't automatically translate it to the new one. I automatically just imagine the old one, the original film, the original miniseries. There's a great pacing to that one, and pacing is something that in movies these days I believe is oftentimes forgotten about. Because there's more of a concern for jump scare, there's more of a concern toward moving the plot along with action. A lot of unnecessary things that slowly but surely chip away at telling a good story. I need to see what this looks like on. There we go. Yeah, Blazy currently is behind the computer where the cord for the camera is. I think she's laying down, taking a little rest. My kitty heaven has turned into only halfway kitty heaven. I only have 3 of them in here now. I just moved something. I moved one of the monster beds. Listen, if you ever need a cat bed, monster boxes. I'm telling you, it works. I have 4 24-pack monster boxes that I've used for cat beds. And Blazy is causing the camera to go up and down as if to say, yes, he's right. But anyway, I use that. I use those for like little makeshift cat beds for them to lay in. They use those more than they use anything else. It's crazy. It's actually kind of cool. I like that a lot. I mean, I have a legitimate cat bed over here, but it just started getting used like 2 weeks ago, and it had been there for months. Matthew Kerman dropping 5. He wants to that $5 to go to the top 50 albums of all time. Thank you very much, Matt. Don't forget, with that $5, you got yourself 5 minutes, basically worth of airtime for a song that you want to hear. So, if you have a song that you would like to hear, let me know in the chat, and I will get that into the queue, into the mix here. We have 2 songs that would be before yours. These cats will lay anywhere. Like, that's the thing. They are going to be so happy at a new place, like a bigger place. That's one of the big reasons why we need to get out of here, is because we're out of space and there's been fumigation that's been in desperate need of happening. The wiring is a death trap. I mean, we are talking, at any one point in the night, I get power fluctuations out the wazoo. And last year, those fluctuations were so intense it fried 2 surge protectors. I mean, it can cause a fire at any moment, and nothing's being done about it. So, nothing's going to be done about, the problems that the building has. Then nothing's going to be done about making sure that a landlord that does nothing gets any money. So, I understand the idea that not everybody values their responsibilities the same way that I kind of try to value mine, or whatever. It's just 2 different people. All that, happy horse shit. But I think that if you make the decision to be a landlord of a property, I mean, you should care about what happens to that property, because if the property happens to catch fire because of a power surge or because of bad wiring, then you're not going to be getting money from anybody. In fact, if anything, you're going to have to give out a lot of your money to other people. Anyway, here's Illusion and Dream from Poets of the Fall. Was also requested by Maru, which we thank her for 100%.
This is not juggling. This is called misdirection.
That's Penn and Teller. I didn't realize that was even happening. You're donating vote, but you're low. Well, let's get this guy high. Let's make him high. Hit him high, hit him high, hit him high, hit him high. Oh, hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. Paradise, 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 pythons. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him low, low, low. That's a throwback to the Space Jam soundtrack. I thought of a weird video concept yesterday. And the 24 of you that are in here, y'all are pretty close friends, Y'all are the CKN Club for the most part. Go ahead and play I Am Morbid by Morbid Angel for you. Zombie Slayers 1. I hate you, but I love you. Will do, my friend. They'll get in after Illusion and Dream from Poets of the Fall and Rope Ends by Pain of Salvation. Oh, man. That's going to be an emotional experience, because I freaking love everything about the album it's off of. Reminds me, I need to talk with one of the members of the nation. I need to see if maybe he was sending a package to me. I need to see if it got lost in the mail, or if he just didn't get a chance to send it yet. Breeding season. Oh, buddy. I remember this from last year. You were saying very similar things. Congratulations. Oh man, I'm sure your home is just... And this is because I know that folks that are serious about their animals, like, do everything for them. I bet you your place looks insanely cool. I can only imagine your place looks supremely cool. You know, like, we don't have enough space to have like a dedicated cat room, and I really don't know if at this point we'd be able to do it anyway, unless the room was also the main place where like I hung out, similar to the studio here. They love the studio. Like, the cats are in love with the studio here and have been for years. I don't think that they would want a dedicated cat room for themselves because they want to be where I want to be where the people are. That's the Little Mermaid. Fuck me. If you want, you know. 120 babies, my lord. And no lounge or dining room, it's all snakes. Hey. This video idea that I have kind of has something to do with that. I wonder if there would be a market, and I doubt it'd be a large one. It'd probably be one where I'd have to make this video interesting somehow. Because aside from that, it would probably just be boredom for people. Where I consider the actual number of albums that I've listened to or that I know of, you know, trying to make a rough count to it. It'd be a lot of guesstimation. It'd be a lot of, you know, guesswork and kind of fun, you know, explaining things. Almost more like a bit of a peek behind the curtain. But I don't know if it'd be interesting enough where people would want to watch. Plan on getting a tarantula cruise mist, dude. Dudette, should I say? Super cool. Super cool. Just make sure that if you have a kid brother named Kevin, and he gets left behind home alone whenever you and your family go on a holiday, that tarantula is safe, or else he is going to be placed on the nose of a robber, and that robber is going to scream insanely. Oh, that goes here? Okay. See, the fluctuations, those power fluxes, those happen even whenever the lights are off. Because I can tell whenever my air is on, it will start to ramp up a little bit. It'll start to go and perform at overcapacity. I'm surprised it hasn't been overloaded. And I think that is a key source of what causes the echo, and I think it was also a key source of some of the streaming problems we had last year. So there you go. I've been enjoying some of the videos that have been made so far. It's not enough for me to feel like I have my mojo back or that I want to call off the retirement. Nothing like that. But they've almost been a little bit easier to make because I know that there's a shelf life. And I know that there's, you know, only so much time left. I think that's almost made it a bit easier to do. Which makes absolutely no sense. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a weird place to be. I've never, you know, the only reason why I even posted a video that was announcing the retirement was because I didn't want it to become this sudden thing. You know, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of advance warning of something that was happening. I think that's the courteous thing to do. Not everybody agrees. Hell, there's a ton of people that didn't even watch through the video long enough, or probably didn't watch it at all, and have still been saying, after every video that's been posted, and you know, announcement, "Hey, I thought you were retiring." Well, if you'd have watched the video and actually took in the information that was presented, you would know what the situation is. That's one of the biggest things I'm tired of. You know, I'm tired of a lot of that. You know, I call them Christmas and Easter fans. They only come along whenever it's real big, you know, real big video or real big topic or what they want. And aside from that, they can't be fucked. You get that a lot on YouTube. Here's Rope Ends from Pain and Salvation. This is from Remedy Lane. My second favorite Pain and Salvation album of all time. This album holds so many memories for me. So let's get into it. Here's Rope Ends from Pain and Salvation after that brief interlude from St. Jude's. Oh wow, the Up the Irons week. That is a long time ago. That was one of the first. It was the first actual discography that I did whenever I came back from YouTube jail, essentially. Because originally I was cover killer from 2009 to 2010, and shoot, I'm trying to remember even what album it was that came out. Is that The Final Frontier? Yeah, it was. Whenever The Final Frontier was dropping, I thought to myself, shoot, I might as well just review all of their albums in preparation. Similar to what I just did for Tool. Similar for what I just did to Tool. So I decided to do that. And, oh boy. Different age of quality, I'll tell you. Different age of quality. I don't think I'd be able to watch those these days. Thank you so much for doing so, Felicity. I appreciate that so very much. Love Iron Maiden, you know. Shame I won't be able to talk about a new album from them, but this song will defile every thought you have about Winnie the Pooh for the rest of your life. Never thought of it that way, man. New Rings of Saturn, Leprous, and Fit for an Autopsy. Having some fun there, yeah. I'm a bit perplexed by it, so I don't know apparently. Any guilty pleasure album that I would recommend? I really don't have many guilty pleasures. Most of the stuff I enjoy are very calculated, you know, I just do. Miguel, Kaleidoscope Dream. It's not metal at all. It's pop. I absolutely love Kaleidoscope Dream from Miguel. Put that album on whenever I was working in a music store. Put it on just because it was there. I was like, oh, I wonder what this sounds like. I guess we'll throw it on and, you know, maybe sell a couple records, you know, sell a couple copies of it if you have it on. We had a promo of it. Yeah. Sold a couple copies alright. It moved like hotcakes, and whew, I love that album. It's amazing. You ever thought about co-hosts so you didn't get so burnt out? I don't really get too burnt out from streaming. Thanks for the question, by the way. It would be very cool to have a co-host or even be someone's co-host for a stream or like a podcast of some quality or some type. I think that'd be pretty neat to do. Something where it was very scheduled and, you know, maybe just go in and have the conversation and then that's that, you know? Because I've thought about podcasting for years, but how many people are still like deep into podcasts anyway? I feel like it's almost something that's kind of not so much moved on, but it's kind of a niche thing. Now, do I still get the Metalhead box? I no longer get the Metalhead box. It was partially a sponsorship deal. It was partially. It was more so, should I say, for promotion for them. That way I could give them a little bit of promotion. So they decided about a year ago that they wanted to go a different direction with their marketing with a couple of different people. I told them, hey, that's great. Wish them their best. I still actually have open communication with Melissa, who is one of the people who are behind the Metalhead box, and I couldn't be more proud of them. I really couldn't. Not if I tried. They have done great work, and I've seen on like groups and stuff the different things that have been received, like the things that these people have been getting, and damn, man, it's real tempting to just say, hell, I can drop this money on this stuff. Maybe after I get settled into a new place, I can get myself going with a subscription, because they deserve the money. That's the thing. Like there are, a lot of the things that I recommend typically tend to be worth the money. Have I bought the physical copy of Fear Inoculum? Flying Lee Hale, I have a huge problem whenever it comes to that, because I didn't want to just order it online, but then I remembered, oh wait, I don't have a record store around here. I don't have a music store. I will probably look at a store tomorrow and see what prices are like, but no, I didn't. So the way I heard it was through a promo copy that I got, which the lady that sent me the promo, my representative from that company, was very, very kind and thanked me for the service and wished us the best with the retirement. So, hey, I have all the respect in the world. I have a lot of respect for that, So I really would like to have a physical copy of that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Would go really, really nice with my my final copy of Undertow. Tell you that. That's pretty cool. I think it's freaking crisp too. Man, looks good. About Korn. Korn's going to be a yes. Opeth is going to be a yes. Ginger and Of Mice and Men are question marks. Probably no's. I totally get where Riff is coming from, by the way, with that. Now it's time to get morbid. This is the last song we have on the queue right now, just to let everybody know. So, if you want to have a song heard, either go to the PayPal link that you see below. Oh, shut the hell up, you dual ad piece of crap. Grammarly can suck my cunt. Anyway. Or you can give Super Chat a try if you wish. It seems like YouTube is having a little bit of difficulty today, deciding it doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to give people money. But, we will, I lost my train of thought. $1 a minute for the songs. So if you give $5, you got 5 minutes worth of airtime. Hell, just a couple of days ago, there was a $55 donation, and someone played an entire album. That is legal. You can do that. You can request multiple songs, just have to add up the total time and all that fun stuff. What's my favorite Tool song? Prior to listening to Fear Inoculum, I believe Rosetta Stone was one of my favorites. I listened to that just a ton. Really, really loved what that song did. I'm a big fan of Reflection. Eulogy was a big-time favorite of mine. I listened to 4 Degrees a lot. But Tempest might be the finest song they've ever made. Like, I stand by that statement. That's not just, ooh, let's hop on the hype train, put on the conductor's hat and go, woo, woo. Nope. It is that fine of a song. It is so well done. Catacombs from After the Burial from the Riff Notebook. $2 heading toward number one. So now stands at $27. Just 500. Yeah, just. It's $573 away from being guaranteed to be made, but it's currently in the lead. It is currently in the lead. Yeah, Tempest is just an incredible display. It was well done, and it was a complete 180 from the rest of the album. If you consider the softness that you heard with the other 6 tracks off of a Fear Inoculum, there was a lot of soft moments on that album. And then Tempest just comes out with its freaking teeth exposed, ready to just bite you. Just dig right into your flesh. Band headlined your first festival 2 weeks ago. Hell yeah, dude. Man, I like hearing that you guys are doing well, and the stuff that you're doing on the side is doing well. You're excited about your hobbies. The hobbies are doing well for you. The snake breeding, being in a band. Even if it's just collecting CDs. I'm happy to hear it. Well, bands do I think get too much hate? Opeth. Opeth is one of the biggest bands that gets too much hate because everyone's whining about something really, really stupid. He doesn't growl anymore. It's been 10 years. Get over it. Plus, a lot of those same fans really, really liked it whenever he didn't growl in Damnation. Thought that album was just super duper, which I agree, it is super duper. It's awesome. Loved it, and what was one of the things that you really, really loved about the band? Man, the juxtaposition between the clean sections and the death metal vocals. Heard some great things about the new Opeth record, by the way, whenever it comes to how it sounds. Are there growls? Yeah. I also think that the lyrics to this song are terrible, but some of the musical aspects of it are really good. Take care, Guacamole. You have yourself a good one. Jax! How you doing, Bubs? Have an opinion on Power Trip? Not really. They're solid enough product. That's about all that you really need whenever it comes to a band like them. Not something I go out of my way for, but I liked what I listened to and I liked what I reviewed. What song is this? This is I Am Morbid by Morbid Angel off of the ill-fated Le Divinium Insanus. Are there any heavy moments on Damnation at all? No. No, that is a completely soft album. Hey, you finally get to catch it? Yeah. IDI isn't that bad? Fight you? Okay. Let's take some bets. I bet you I knock you out in 5 rounds with a right hook. And then after I knock you out, you'll go out, you'll get a steel chair, you'll hit me in the back with it, and then you'll stand tall in the end. Despite the fact that you lost. That way you don't lose any heat. I make it simple. Catacombs by After the Burial. Next on our list of fun. And we have a bid war that is going on. Those 4 video ideas that you see to your left, on the left side of your screen, those are big time lists that could be added to the end of the run. Could be added to December for just a little bit more CKN content. Be during list week or whatever we call that, list month, list season. 'Tis the season for lists. After the Burial with Catacombs. If I've been watching AEW, I still haven't gotten a chance to see All Out. Over the weekend, I had some family that was in from Florida, where they were in, should I say, past tense, because they had left this afternoon, and I hadn't seen them in 2 years, and the last time that they were in, I was pretty ill, so I didn't see them a lot then. So in reality, I haven't seen them in a long ass time. Like, that's an official term I'm using. I'd say it's probably bordering on around 11 years that I've seen them to the point where I could sit down and have a conversation that lasted longer than 20 minutes because then I just wanted to puke. So I still haven't seen All Out. I'm going to. Like, I know some of the things that happened. You know, I know the result of the matchup between Hangman and Chris Jericho. I know that the ladder match was absurd. You know, I know things that have gone down, but I still want to see it for myself. Especially considering I can't find a stream for the New Japan pay-per-view that happened that same day. And the stream quality that the WWE Network has been presenting lately has been awful ever since they switched over the network. So I tried to watch TakeOver Cardiff, but the audio-video sync on that is just so fucking poor that it was unwatchable. And it takes a lot for me to complain about quality, you know, and things like that, considering I don't have much room to talk, obviously. But I'm also one shithead that streams from his house, or from his apartment, really, should I say. They are a billion-dollar company, you know what I mean? Tool or a Perfect Circle? I would say Tool. Because unlike a Perfect Circle, Tool has not made a bad album. Eat the Elephant was objectively bad. It's a very forgettable album. Incredibly forgettable. Hey. Nemo. Come on. Nah, he's not interested. Oh, maybe he is. And, of course, Maynard is a huge wino. I've actually never had any of his wine. That would have to be the next thing to do. Top 3 band t-shirts? Oh gosh, I don't even know. It'd have to be a couple that I own, but I don't know. As you can tell by the frequency that I put out merch, that's not my strong suit. I am shit whenever it comes to that stuff because I can't draw worth a damn. I can't graphic design worth a damn. How many of y'all want a t-shirt that has basically a stick figure that was wearing tennis shoes on it? That's probably a big fat 0. We put in the corner, CKN, age 35. Anyone heard the new Overkill? We reviewed the new Overkill. I reviewed the new Overkill earlier this year. It's alright. I don't think it's their finest hour. In fact, it's kind of... It's a very middling album. It's a very middling album, which for Overkill means that it's really, really good. Because Overkill's middling albums tend to smoke a lot of the secondary or tertiary bands of thrash metal. But they're an amazing live show. That's the one thing that I can tell you and confirm for you completely. They're an amazing live show. If you have money and wish to see Overkill, they're coming to your area or whatever, do it. Do it. Do it. I might as well just let this play. Because we don't have anything else in the queue right now, so get your donations and your song requests in. Be sure to let me know where you want the money to go to as far as the bid war is concerned. This is Flying Whales from Gojira, though you could probably tell what that is from its introduction. This here, which I just got all over myself, is Strawberry Lemonade Sunkissed. I had one the other day whenever we were streaming, didn't really like it, and, well, here I am having another one, so apparently I like it enough. This just came up naturally, right after Catacombs by After the Burial. Tool would still be number 1 Gluck, but Pussifer is a really strong project, I have to say. Christmas. Christmas is here. Good old Christmas. Oh, sorry, babes. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Christmas, say, hi, CKN. Hi, CKN Club. Aw. Okay. You just want to say hello to me. You love me, huh? You love me, huh? Okay. You really don't like Blitz's voice? That's okay. That is probably one of the hang-ups that people would have. Like, quick 5 reasons people hate Overkill. Probably Bobby's voice is going to be one, if not the top thing. Also, no way I'd be able to find 5 reasons, if I'm being honest with you. Like, there's just zero potential for that. Can I play Tempest? That would require a donation of $16, unfortunately. Christmas? Nah, Christmas isn't totally camera shy, but whenever she gets in the mood that she wants you to love on her, that's all that she's focused on. She doesn't want cameras in her face or anything like that. She just wants to love on you. That's just how it goes. She's one of the sweetest cats that I have ever met. And the thing about it is that she was, can I think here? She was outside. You know, not so much feral. She had a previous owner. Makes her sound like a car. $3.99 from Zombie Slayers 1. Going to number 1 saying Lee Van Cleef by Primus. I'm just going to carry the 1 and make that $4. Because I'll tell you, getting into decimals and stuff like that, shit's for the birds. Shit is for the birds, boys and girls. And play Lateralis from Tool. That would be, I believe, a $10 donation, maybe a $9. I'd have to remember the track time for that. It's $1 a minute, essentially. Oh yeah, John, it's okay. Don't worry about it. For the longest time, even though I owned cats, I called every animal, whether it was male or female, boy. So, like, I went out to my tech department's place, and she has a cat. Her name is Crowley. Crowley sounds like a male name, but that's just what she named. That's what she named her cat. And so I called him boy like the first 3 times that we were talking about, and she just had to keep reminding me, girl, you know. Because at that point, back then, I only had 3 boys. Now that I have girls, it's like light bulb. $2 from the Rift Notebook going to Esoteric Surgery by Gojira. Ticks and Leeches is either $8 or $9. I think that one's 9 because it's closer to the 9-minute mark. Oh, such a good song, this. We have Lee Van Cleef coming in from Primus and an Esoteric Surgery from Gojira. After that, Rift Notebook, I assume you're still dedicating your attack toward number 1, correct? Ticks and Leeches is $8.11, so that would be $8. I would probably just go with 8 for that. Only time I would ever insist on more would be if it was like $8.57 or like $8.51. You know it's on a song, Lance? Dude, I used to be the same way, Tool, so you and I are we're very similar in that case. I used to always love songs that were 7 minutes and 6 seconds long because I was stupid and thought that meant 666. Don't be dumb like me. Don't be dumb like me, boy. 11:06 would be 666, 666 seconds. By the way, I am just in heaven right now, and I can't show you because if I move my arm, I will be sad. I will be very, very sad. Christmas right now is licking my arm, and a lot of people compare cat tongues to sandpaper, and they don't like it. I love it. Like, it is. If there's ever like a my strange addiction, I'm addicted to my cats licking me, like licking my arms and like licking my knees or my legs, that I'm gonna be on it. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. Who names their cat Christmas? Yeah, she's bathing me. The name actually came from the neighbor, because that's where she was living before. She was living with a neighbor of ours that's right up the street in a white house. In fact, she had her first litter up there, but she wanted to go back outside. She didn't want to stay in that house. So the neighbor's young daughter, who at the time was I think like 4 years old, named her Christmas Whiskers. Because it was around Christmas. Excuse me. Excuse me. It was around Christmas whenever she had her first litter, and then she had her second litter late last year. So it was Christmas 2017 when she had her first, and then it was August of 2018 when she had her second litter. So we just love the name. Like, I love the name. Because that's what she responded to. She responded to Christmas. I'm not going to give her a new name and have her try to learn that. You know, that's just not fair. Is it still the same song? Sure is. There we go. I need to get Riff's $4 in on number 1, I believe. I'm stating that his non-response means that's what he wants. We right now have Primus with Lee Van Cleef. For those who are just streaming in, welcome to the stream. It's the first Bid War stream of September, where you're going to have a couple of them. I'd like to have like 8. That would be great. That would be a great number for me. Flying Whales is a long song, but it's a very, very good song. It keeps you engaged. I like that. And I remember this song. I remember the video for this song back in the day. Holy shit. It's amazing that I'm now referring to 2012 as back in the day. No, you're good. I got you. Right now, the queue has one further song in it, which is Esoteric Surgery from Gojira, and then we are clear at the moment. Primus is Tool for Hillbillies? What? What? Paradise is a very well-versed gentleman. He's got many things that he enjoys, which I dig. I totally understand that. That's why, hey, we can talk here about wrestling, we can talk about sports, we can talk about life, we can talk about music. Yeah. A lot of different interests. Having that multifaceted personality is oftentimes, it always keeps you distracted in some way. You know, I'd like to put my foot down at some point. My feet. Get your big butt out of the way, buddy boy. Ah! You can't remember the Paradise password? The Paradise password. I'll be watching AEW whenever it airs. Hopefully I get TNT. I cut the cord recently, so I use Sling. I think it's Sling TV that we have. You can really tell how often I watch TV because I don't even know what fucking service we have. It's redonkulous. But anyway, yeah, I'll be watching AEW. I missed out on tickets for the Pittsburgh show, and I'm pissed. Where was I whenever 10,000 Days came out? 13 years ago, 2006, I can tell you where I was. I had just graduated. Yeah, I had just graduated, technically, from college. I would have to go back, and or I would go back to get a second degree the next year. But we got the Tool album, because it had a street date in May for America. And we were done right around that time, and by we I mean myself as well as a couple of other members of the music fraternity I was a part of. We're going to our central office in Evansville, Indiana, and we got the album so we could jam it out during the car ride. Water Blanc with 229 with Arxelent with Malice Freightage. I just completely destroyed that. Blanky, where would you like that to go to? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Uno, dos, tres, or cuatro. What is all this that's happening in my face? What is this happening all in my face? Here's esoteric surgery from Gojira. If you're using, God fucking damn it. If you're using Super Chat, by the way, today, apparently it's been having some minor difficulties, though, Wonky seem to be having no problems. Long says, 1, of course, I need to do a quick little conversion. Math is important in this case. And just before people get asking, I'm using whole numbers. I'm just using whole numbers. I'm not getting into this, I might have to. God damn it. Oh well. Whatever. Fine, we're going to go into some decimals. Much as I don't want to. You know what? No. Yeah, no, that's... Considering it's that kind of number, then yeah. We'll use a decimal in that case. Thou hast shekels for number 3. Oh, dearest. Oh, dearest meeth. Donka to all. Thank you to Water Blanc. Is Seventh Son still your favorite Iron Maiden record? Yes, it is. I love that album so much. Amazingly, it is not the album I listen to the most, but it is the one that I like the most. Mario with $18 more. Once they hear the Night Flight Orchestra with Satellite. JP Lepaludo with Kuropa, the whole. Marco Ayatara with Kumulodin Jumalatin Boyka, Son of the Dead Gods. And Astral Doors with Night of the Hunter. Mario, I remember with your first donation you went with number 1. Are you still staying with number 1? Please let me know. Eric says number 3 for his, Gamma Angel, that is. The Friars of the Ancient Cosmic Destiny by Glory Hammer for number 3. Bitcha. Still the same. Just states, while looking good in the process. So hey, number 3 is on the board with a sterling $12. What I think about the Book of Souls? Love Book of Souls. Definitely high up on the list whenever it comes to the discography. For sure. For sure, and 7 years ago. Oh boy. Mr. Wood with Langs Galig on Red. Yeah, rest in peace. It's terrible. What a horrid album. Now that's gonna be interesting. I think it still is my number 1 album of all time, but I could be wrong. Like, I need to actually sit down and have a conversation with myself about that. Thanks, Water Blanc. I appreciate it. We're gonna have to do a little hop and skip. We'll also be taking a short break shortly. Reaching about, not so much the midway point of the stream, but the break point of the stream. The point of the stream where my bladder basically says, hey, you need to fucking piss. The thing about the Book of Souls, in my opinion, is that Iron Maiden, at this point, can just make music to make music. If they tried to go above and beyond what they did with the Book of Souls as far as song length and other things are concerned, that's not necessary. You know, they don't need to do that. It would be kind of interesting to see Iron Maiden's take on a one-song album, but it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Because they've done, semi-conceptual things. That's usually been within the construct of songs. They don't need to replicate what they did on the Book of Souls in order to craft another great album. Sigur Rós, Icelandic. They're Icelandic. What would you call them? Would you call them post-rock? I might call them post-rock. Yeah, they are Icelandic post-rock. Argosolent. A Nestled Freightage coming up next. Esoteric Surgery just played from the Way of All Flesh and Blood. Blood. I think that's the best way to put it for SR, for Thoros. There was a Sigur Rós album that was available in the CD sale for all of like 5 seconds. Justin, man, he got to that quick. It's from the album Hornets of the Pilgrim. Blah. Alright, I can tell I needed a break. Not that it really matters. I would still fuck it up anyway, cause I am American and we're all cunts. We are all stupid cunts. We don't know language. I just don't know how to talk. I might as well be a cook, or I cooked in McDonald's. If I did that, then I would say, would you like fries with that? Favorite racist death metal band? None. Oh wait, maybe Marduk, considering Antifa thought they were. I don't know, I really don't look at it in those terms. I refuse to give that its own subgenre. You know, I listen to Graveland, but hey, it's whatever. I enjoy most of their music. What do I think is the worst movie of all time? I could not tell you. I am not the man to ask whenever it comes to films. I'll tell you what. This is what I'll do. I'll tell you what my. I'll tell you what Miss CKM would say. She would give you 2 films like that. The first one would be Interview with a Vampire, because she hates Tom Cruise, hated the movie. Hated basically all the casting decisions because they didn't sync up with what she thought or what the text stated in the book. Just loathed that movie. I thought it was okay. And then, hell. Oh, what the hell was that film called? It was the first attempt that they made at a Hannibal Lecter film. Mindhunter. Oh God. So bad I don't even remember what the hell it's called. That was bad. She hates that film. She wants that film to die. Get stabbed. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny? What in the world? Mindhunter. Wait, isn't that a show? I thought that was a show. I thought that was a show. Isn't that a show that's out right now, Mindhunter? I saw people going gaga over a show with that title. No, not Hannibal Rising. Hannibal Rising was fine. This is this was produced prior to the other ones. I can't believe I can't remember that. 86 movie with Rooker? Yeah. Yeah, the name is escaping me too. Pisses me off because I used to have that like right on my tongue. No, it's not Silence of the Lambs. Manhunter. There it is. Yeah, Manhunter. That's it. Tool, you nailed it. You nailed it, buddy. Thank you very much. That would be what she would say. Now I can confirm that I agree with her that Manhunter, should I say, is a legitimately poor film. It's a poor attempt. It just was not well executed. Yeah, it was the first adaptation of Red Dragon, which Red Dragon was awesome. God, I love Red Dragon. Such a good fucking movie. There are many dissenters whenever it comes to that opinion, and I don't care. I don't claim myself to be any authority whenever it comes to film, considering I go to the theater like once a year. I think if I called myself an authority in film, like, the entire film industry would come out to my house and, like, nail me to a cross. Oh, you didn't like Top Gun? Oh man, I love Top Gun. Top Gun. Top Gun was freaking awesome. Freddy Got Fingered? Never saw it. Funny thing was is that whenever I first saw that movie, I thought that it was somehow connected to the Freddy Krueger series, the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Like it was going to be some like weird fucking off-brand, you know, sequel. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Got Fingered. Maybe we'll take it back to Freddy being like a teenager and he's like getting, you know, he's getting felt up by, I don't know, an uncle. What I think about Witcher series for Netflix? I think if there's any place where that series would be good to be on, it probably would be Netflix, because you know, you have the example of Castlevania that's working toward your advantage, and most of your, and this is again just strictly opinion, but most of your crowd that would be real interested in watching something like that, you know, they're leaning more toward Netflix than conventional cable. So having it there is a really good idea. The only thing that might work against it is that it's coming out a couple of years after Wild Hunt did, Witcher 3. And I know that I'm not sure about plans for a fourth one or anything like that. I know that Witcher 3 is still a very popular game, but back in the day, it used to be real critical to ensure that you had things sync up at around the same time. That we sort of took advantage of everything. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Alright, Paradise, we'll see you later, man. Appreciate you stopping out. You have yourself a good one, and hey, enjoy all of the birds. We'll see you next time. Need to get some timestamps here. Okay, Night Flight Orchestra coming up next. With Satellite. That came right up for me. God, gotta love when that happens. Night Flight Orchestra is great. Man, what a cool band. Just a really, really cool band. Picked up one of their albums last year during the Nuclear Blast Black Friday sale. Am I going to see It Chapter 2? Probably not. I probably won't be seeing it. I'm going to be seeing Scary Stories in the Dark tomorrow. I would have seen It Chapter 2 if it was packaged in a drive-in deal, like a 2-for-1 deal with Scary Stories in the Dark, but instead, that ain't happening, so I wasn't, like, I liked Chapter 1, but I also find myself, if I want to watch it, I'm just going to watch the original. So, you know, is what it is. Oh, they're going to be porting Witcher 3 to the Switch? That should be interesting, to say the least. I noticed that with the Switch, Nintendo has been a little bit more open toward a little bit of everything. You know, they used to catch a lot of flack for being the kiddie system, or the system that was for the families and the youth, which was part of the mission. It was part of the mission, but nice to see them really embrace the whole catalog. And I think it makes that Switch a lot more dynamic. What do I think about Joker? Oh, the film? I'll be 100% blunt with you. I didn't see Suicide Squad. One of my friends, my tech department, who I love to death, she's a huge Harley Quinn fan. She didn't even want to see Suicide Squad. She did, begrudgingly, and was like, bleh. You know what I mean? I've become less and less impressed with superhero movies each passing year because there's too many of them, and I just don't care. I just really don't care. What is this? This is Satellite by the Night Flight Orchestra. Yeah. They're a really, really solid band. I'm going to tell you right now. You start listening to them, you get hooked. It's kind of like heroin. As a disclaimer, I've never been hooked on heroin, so I can't confirm that. Main reason why? I fucking hate needles. Hell no. You bring a needle close to me, my veins disappear. I become a veinless boy. The boy without veins. Speed at the post-wedding karaoke. Oh boy, yum. That sounds more my speed. It's my favorite metal album. Five Finger Death Punch, The Way of the Fist. No, I'm kidding. Right now, I would have to go with what I posted in the top 50 or the top 25 video 8 years ago. Rest in Peace by Megadeth. Oh, this is just. That's the thing. It's just really, really good. Like, you forget that it's kind of corny, and you kind of don't care. You're just like, I don't care. This is great. This is perfect. They're quick songs, you know. They're not. None of them are long. They just. It reminds me of what would happen if, like, the Electric Light Orchestra became like an '80s revisionist, like semi-metal prog rock band, and just did whatever they wanted. Like right now, I'm looking at this, the end of this video, and it lists a date, which is April 21st, 1985. Which the song sounds like it'd be absolutely perfect for that era. JP Levaludo, coming up next with Kyopa. This is from Maru. What the fuck is this? I don't care, shut up. I don't care. For those curious about what this is, I'm going to post it in chat. Shabam. Top 3 metal subgenres. What's with all the questions? There's actually going to be a video coming out very, very soon, which is top 10 heavy metal genres. So look out for that. That's coming up in the next few weeks, alongside of Rankamal Arion and a couple of others. Rankamal Enslaved. There's going to be some activity that's not just new stuff. So you know what that means, right? Yeah. What that means is, y'all got to gather up everybody in the nation that you know and tell them to get their asses to those videos and watch them. Share the fuck out of them, man. Brutal Sphincter with Prohibit Anime from Water Blanc. Blanca, you've been having yourself an interesting couple weeks, haven't you? Favorite Korn album? Follow the Leader. They hit with a furry guy who froze his hands off so he could look like he had paws. Nah. Why? That to me seems really, silly. Bandcamp is best tread when inebriated. Yeah. It's bad I don't drink anymore. I know that it means nothing to anybody else, but I find it kind of a proud achievement that I right now can sit here and say, with all honesty, that if I drank for a night, it definitely wouldn't lead to anything else. It would just be one night of fun, and I would be able to go about my day directly afterward. Well, maybe not the next day. I'm hungover, but I wouldn't immediately think to myself, damn, gotta get myself more booze. Now it'd be very nice if I could do that with cigarettes. That's still a pain in the freaking balls, and being stressed out all the stinking time doesn't help. That's a fucking trigger and a half. Sucks. Uh-oh. Justin Neely comes on board with $5, says, number 2. So number 2 is going to have some moolah. Let's see here, Faithless from Rush, and he says he's going to send me an email shortly. Well, take your time, my friend. Take your time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Get that in the queue and play it up. He's interested to know where the albums of the year rank. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. Hey! Just like the boy Justin right there, see how easy that was? If you're having problems with Super Chat, hit up the PayPal. Favorite Avenged album, The Stage. That album was really, really good. I love the creativity on that disc. I really love the creativity on that disc. You know, a lot of folks were like, man, the self-titled album is really, really, different. Which it is. It is, don't get me wrong. But, holy fuck, Batman. Stage, they basically just decided, we're just going to kind of do whatever we want. Good for them. Good for them. You know? Of course, we haven't heard anything from them since. Which I don't think we're going to hear anything from them for a little while. I think it's going to take some time. Unless they're working on stuff. I don't know. I don't keep up with A7X very much. Marco Hiatala. Uh-oh. With Kualaiden Jumlatin Polka. Or Polka, should I say. Not polka. Polka is what happens whenever you get really, really drunk in Pittsburgh and you end up in the wrong building.
Tyler with Brent.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, shut up! God. These Grammarly ads are the worst. I loathe them with everything in my being. Anyway, polka is what happens whenever you end up on the wrong side of town in Pittsburgh. You know, you enter into the room with the 85-year-old men and their overly ambitious, female and male kids that are like in their 40s but won't embrace their heritage. Suck on some sauerkraut, eat a kielbasa, do some polka. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, that felt really, really good. I think about naked girls that like Tool. Some of them could have my Tool, not all though. I can't include everybody in that. Nope. Not just because I don't want to sound like a slut, but because I can already think of like a couple people in particular that nope wouldn't give my Tool to. Nah. What is the song that is playing, John? I will grab that for you. That information. I do not wish to bastardize language again for like another 5 minutes. I'm like on language timeout. You know, an Australian girl that likes Tool? That's pretty cool. She cajoled you into spreading vegan propaganda on 4chan. You didn't have to, pay for an exclusive Snapchat, did you? That's a big thing these days. Pay for my exclusive Snapchat. Lady, I don't even have basic Snapchat. Y'all talking about exclusive shit. I don't even have the basic bare bones thing. I had Snapchat for a while. I never used it. I'm bad with social media. I get all hot and I'm like, man, I'm gonna use this. And then I use it for like 2 or 3 days, like maybe a week, and then I'm just like, fuck this. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I'm not that interesting. Or at least, I don't think I'm that interesting. Uses Instagram? I do. See, again, it is on Instagram. This is because if I take a picture, it's easy for me just to post that. But most of the stuff that I have on mine, nothing to do with music, everything to do with cats. So I'm not even posting the thing that I typically talk about on the channel, so I'm bad at social media. Proven. Confirmed. There's the last FM. Oh, I used to. That probably doesn't have any information on it for 6 years, probably. Meet Mun. How's it going, Meet Mun? $2 from Meet Mun. Hey man, bid war's going on. If you remember from us talking the other day, where would you like that $2 to go to? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Thank you very much for the donation. If I remember what it was called, I think it was Son of a Light Bulb. Maybe. I now have to look and confirm for my own. It has been so long since I've used this. Oh no, light bulb sun. Sun is spelled like the sun, as opposed to son like, child. So take the title of the Porcupine Tree album, and you're good. Is there an echo? On echo? We can take care of that. There was just another fluctuation. I saw it. Damn it. This is the type of shit I get scared of, man. We're going to wrap up Monterey's picks with Night of the Hunter by Astral Doors. Link so you can follow the herd. Is this the song or is this? Okay, it's the song. I was gonna say that's another freaking ad. Tick babies. You don't have anything to worry about. There's no actual babies, like anywhere close to me. You can't physically, secure that demand with. Hey, to verify my email. Oh my god. You have shit to do. I have a lot of people in inbox apparently. I'm assuming it's just like last.fm/user/lightbulbsun. I have not used that in so freaking long, man. So this is Astral Doors is the name of the artist. The song is entitled Night of the Hunter. This is off their album Worship or Die, which was released April 26th of this year. So this is a 2019 release that you can scope out today. Thank you for the follow. Like I said, I have not used that in 6 years or so, there probably won't be much of any activity on it at all. So, my apologies. Meat Mun. That $2. So I'm gonna go to number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. Let me know, or else I'm gonna just apply it somewhere. It's my favorite genre of metal, heavy. Probably thrash, though prog is definitely up there. Prog metal is definitely up there. I listen to a lot of different versions of death metal, because death metal is now not just death metal anymore. I would say prog and thrash are the two big ones. I listen to experimental and avant-garde a lot as well. Oh, we have the echo? We got the echo. Very good. Doing that. I remember back in the day whenever I was using Last.fm quite a bit, that I would see some of these folks and man, they're in like hundreds of thousands of scrobbles, probably bordering on like a million or heading in that direction. Like they must have been scrobbling ever since the site just existed. Just put it all on number 1, says Meat Mun. Put it all on 1, he says. We're going to do it. Done and done. That makes it 64-59. It has a wide margin lead over number 3, which has $12, and number 2, which has $5. You can easily recognize fake strobblers. I wonder if it was just like I didn't take it as seriously, you know? Because I felt like back in the day I was taking it really seriously. But maybe that's not true, you know? Benjamin Mueller. Oh! That has nothing to do with this stream. Never mind. Just kidding. YouTube isn't letting you donate more than $2. Yeah, that's been a problem that we've noted with another gentleman. I'm not sure if you do PayPal at all. If you do PayPal at all, that might be a good thing to do. You just follow the link over there. You can do that. Yeah, PayPal is doing fine. Super Chat is having some issues. Super Chat is having some major issues. Whenever we come back from break, because I'm heading to break right now, because I see that Missy Can just arrived at home, and I want to see what's going on with her. We will have The Fires of Ancient Cosmic Destiny by Glory Hammer, which was requested from your good friend and mine, Gamma Angel. And then we will have various others to check out. Yes, indeed. I need to freaking pee, too. Oh! Pardon the heck out of me. Excuse me. A lot of people talking about Tool. Talked about Tool all last week. Let's leave you at break with the Tool song. Here's Rosetta Stone from Tool. I'll be right back. What's going on with that? Oh, I go dumb. I'll go there to find out what's going on. There's nobody there. Nobody freaking there. No Sudafed. How's it going, everybody? I'll have a couple of orders to pack tonight. Yeah, there's stuff still for sale on Discogs. About 138 titles, including a couple that have been freshly placed on over the weekend that nobody in this chat will want. Unless you really like, I don't know, was it Kenny G? I have some, was liquidating some stuff from both my folks' house as well as my own, so a little bit of everything on there. Taylor Swift fans are mad that Tool outsold Taylor Swift. I'm not totally surprised by that. If you remember the Nicki Minaj situation from, I think it was last year. Her album didn't go to number one. She threw a little shit fit. That seems like a perfectly legitimate thing that they would do. Because they worked so hard on those albums. They deserve to be number one. You know, got to really throw in that entitlement there. Here's the Fires of Ancient Cosmic Destiny by Glory Hammer. Hell yeah. Enjoy your next 12 and a half minutes, folks. Oh, motherfucker. I don't care if they're into. They can suck my dick. And all suck my dick. Thank you very much. But, yeah. There's definitely a little bit of an entitlement issue that's going on with things like that, considering they work really, really hard. So Tool didn't work hard on the album. I mean, some would say that it's a really, really lazy album, but I guarantee you that regardless if an album sounds lazy or not, they worked hard on it. You know? I would imagine. And really, whenever you listen to the pop albums, they're the ones that sound the laziest. But yeah, that's the world we're living in. Ain't that something? Ain't that just something? So welcome to the second half of the stream. Let's start things off with a quick little rundown of the queue, where we're looking at right now. Currently we have, after this, Flusterwold with Langs Galig Anrad, which is followed up by Faithless by Rush. Then we have Brutal Sphincter with Prohibit Anime, and that's it whenever it comes to Q at the moment. So we have these 4 songs, I'm including the one that we're currently listening to, which is The Fires of Ancient Cosmic Destiny from Glory Hammer. Whenever we take a look at the status of our bid war right now, number 1, CKN's top 50 albums of all time, currently in the lead with 64.59. Number 3, which is top 25 albums of the 2010s, is in second place with $12, and number 1 albums 2010 to 2019 ranked is in third place with $5. Top 10 metal idiots of all time, not on the board yet, but I'm sure that will change. I am sure that will change. Water Blanc, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't listened to it yet. I haven't listened to the Migla album yet. So, my current opinion is, it's an album that's out. I need to get to it. My entire last week, aside from the stream the other day, has been extremely busy, and I've not been here a lot. Like, whenever I streamed the other night, that was pretty much the one night that I've had, like, legitimately quote-unquote off. If you want to call it having a night off, I've really been kind of off since Friday. Saturday I was up the local amateur radio club with my dad and my uncle, and we were selling stuff up there. It was their annual Gab Fest. My uncle has been in, uncle and aunt both, along with their dog Andy, have been up since Friday. So I've been spending a lot of time over at my parents' place with them, because it's the first time I've seen them in a long time. So I have taken the opportunity to get a little bit of rest in along with all of this. Because let me tell you, I was going nuts over the weekend with that sale. We did a lot for that. And I felt it directly afterward. We were sleeping the other night. Yeah, it was a little bit of a later stream. I didn't plan on it at all. I just opted to do it because I was kind of having a bad day. I wasn't feeling great. I'm honestly not feeling too good today either. It's not a physical thing, it's completely mental, because there's just so much anxiety and like shit going on behind the scenes that it's hard to keep it all straight. And so I just decided to stream, to try to help out my mood, and it did. It did a great job in making me feel pretty good. So I had to say, I like the stream because of that. Garden of Shadows with Twilight Odyssey. I sometimes have to forget the formats are sometimes a little bit different. I know that Ripnotebook likes to put the artist second as opposed to first. I have to do a little bit of... It ended up killing your sleep. I apologize. Never feel like you have to stay here the whole time, Waterblanc. I know that you have loyalty, and I appreciate that. But never feel like you are absolutely it's necessary. It's 385 heading toward number 1 after the conversion. Takes that up to 68.44. Remember, folks, like with all of our bid wars, we do have a dollar amount that ensures that a video is made regardless to if it wins. That amount is $600. This is not the only stream for it. We're going to be having multiple streams for the bid wars here in September, so stay tuned. I can tell you that the next stream will not be until next week, probably either Monday or Tuesday. Oh, excuse me. I'm unavailable tomorrow. Unavailable Saturday and really I'm unavailable all this weekend. Saturday I will probably have some time to do some recording, so I will probably be doing that, and I hope to have something posted this weekend for you guys. 1 if not 2 videos. After the stream ends tonight, I'm going to be working on getting something edited and rendered and finished up for you guys, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm glad that you didn't do that, Blonky. I really am. Like I said, Justin and I have been cool for not Justin, Anthony and I have been cool for a long time. Oh. Justin has just informed me that we may have a prize in the midst. Justin, I know you're probably watching the stream. Whether you want to do that and then you would mail it to him, or is it, if it's just like a code? If it's just a code, then just give me the code in an email, and I will use that to... Whoa. Not a Vargan in this chat says Sam Burnside wants to go to number 1. He wants to hear some Satyricon Into the Mighty Forest off the Dark Medieval Times album. Hey Sam, we can do that. We can get that in there. Thank you very much, brother. I need to do some conversion here in a second. And then reel with Laboratory. Blanky also going toward number 1. Yeah, so Justin, get me that code. You can just slide that code in an email, and once I have that, I'll announce it. Maybe we'll give it out today. Maybe we'll give that out today. Yeah, you gotta love Gloryhammer. Gloryhammer is just ridiculous. So, whatever you're most comfortable with doing, Justin. If it's not a code and it's just like an actual card and you have to do like unlocking and all this weird shit, then we might have to do it via mail. But if it's just a code that you use and have to visit a website, then we can probably do it via just having the code and giving them instructions. I need to do conversions. I am being a very irresponsible boy. Thank you very much. I appreciate both of those donations. Sam and Water Blanc. Appreciate it. 1234 and then 253. That makes for 1487. 1487. 1487. Gotta remember these numbers because if I don't, might die. 1487. 1487. So, 83. 87. That's a 2. That's 3-1. 8331, the new total for number 1. I see that number 1 is right now the big time target for everybody. When's the next Tool album coming out? Well, if you go by how long it takes for their albums to be released, we have 3 years, 5 years, 5 years, 13... 26 years. It'll be 26 years. Huh. I did not even realize that. That would have been perfect for the video. Fuck. 3 years between Undertow and Onima. 5 years between Onima and Lateralis. 5 years between Lateralis and 10,000 Days. That's 13. That's 13 years. 4 albums in 13 years, and then 1 13 years later. Wow. Hey, Sebastian. I'm interested to hear what the new Swans is like, because I know that it's meant to be different than the previous era. So I'm sure that it's different. Cattle Decapped will be pretty cool. That should be an album. I'll tell you what, they have a steep mountain to climb if they want to usurp the throne of their previous releases. And the Anthropocene Extinction was just phenomenal. Yeah, 26 years. If we're going with that, it would make more sense if it was like 3 years and then, then it was 5 years and then it was 8 years because 3 plus 5 is equals to 8, and then you would do all that, but it's not. So maybe it'll somebody call up a number file and tell him to create a new sequence of numbers based off of that. Make it his own thing. Call it the tool number or something. Instead of the Fibonacci sequence, it's the Maynard sequence. Yeah, 26 years from now, whenever Maynard's like 79 years old, and I'll be in my early 60s at that point. Come on here and be like, how's it going, everybody? coverkillernation here. I want to talk to you guys about an album. It's a Tool album. It's entitled Hoopity Boopity Doopity. And this one's taken some time. 26 years. Let me tell you, I sounded a lot different 26 years ago, and well, I miss those days. What was I talking about? I don't know why I'm completely useless at 61, but, you know, here we are. That's the future I'm predicting. All of a sudden, the review just stops, and we're like, well, I have to go now, guys. I just pooped my pants. I just pooped myself, and it felt amazing. I'm hoping that it's not another... here's the thing. If this ended up being Tool's last album, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Flustwood with Langs Galg Anrad. Coming up next. This one's from Blanky Boo. Getting raw up in this bish. From Weronica Dabrowska. That was who posted it on YouTube. I'll be senile at 62. My hope will be that I'll have, what is that? Not cataracts, but that laser surgery that'll help my sight. My mind will be gone by that point, considering how much my mind likes to fuck me over now. I see Elliot Miller. Is this... Two of the things that I received, by the way, were from Discogs. They weren't even from the stream here, so I got like multiple things happening right now, which is kind of wild. Thanks to everybody. But Elliot Miller, this is 100% for here. Unleash the Archers with Awakening with the $10 donation. Number 1 for the picks, he says. Number 1 is furiously loved and desired and wanted. It is now at 93.31. Wild and Crazy Kids. Very good. We will get that in for you. We have a couple of tracks ahead of it, so stick around for a bit, Elliot, and we will get to Unleash the Archers for you. Thank you very much once again. Stem cell treatment? Oh, dude, that'd be pretty sweet. I would like stem cell treatment to fix my vision, my knees, my back, I don't know. I have a chip in a tooth. Maybe it can, like, cause it to grow back. That'd be kind of neat. How cool would that be? How cool would that be if in the future you get a chipped tooth, you just go to the dentist and they insert some stem cells and they say, okay, all I gotta do is wait a while, it'll grow back, it'll be fine. You know, it's like planting a tree. You have to, like, irrigate it, water it or whatever. You know, maybe you have to, like, talk nice to it, play Beethoven and Mozart like people do to their plants or their children whenever they're in the womb. You know, that way it's a strong and big and very well versed, you know, intellectual chip of a tooth. You know, I've never met anybody who, you know, played Beethoven and, you know, classical music to their children while in the womb. Maybe y'all have met some of these folks. Are they smarter? Like, legit, are they smarter or not? Or is this a hunk of bullshit? I think it's a hunk of bullshit. My YouTube name is Meatmun, by the way. Oh, hi, Elliot. Meatmun. Very good. $5 more. Number 1 once again for Meatmun. Elliot, Meatmun. Nice to meet you. Nice to make your acquaintance, sir. Thank you again. 98.31 now for number 1. Good golly, Miss Molly. We are almost a sixth of the way there for number 1, and it is only day 1. And you know what happens with these bid wars, especially on the last day. And you'll know when it's the last stream, because we'll run out of September whenever that happens. We'll run out of September, and the last day is always absurd. Oh boy. Have I heard the symphonic pornographic band Beethoven? I have not. And that means I was like, it's true. $2. Number 1. Holy smokes. It's coming in from all directions. Everything's going everywhere. And he did that. That was calculated. I know that was calculated. He's like, you know what? Put that over 100. It's over 100 now. $100. 31 cents. Number 1. We are number 1. We the best forever. Rick Ross. DJ Khaled. I don't even know. The fuck am I even saying anymore? I know too much crap is I think what the problem is. That's pretty decent. I have to look these guys up a little bit more. Oh, I was going to say, there's still a minute and a half. What's going on here? thought maybe it was one of those YouTube videos that people post and try to avoid copyright by making them longer than what they actually are. You know, there's folks that you clearly know how long a song is, you've known it forever, and then all of a sudden you see it on there, like it's a 4 minute and 30 second long song, and it's actually 6 minutes and 17 seconds. You're like, that's not right. Oh, tennis elbow. Yikes. Every time I've heard that described to me, or turf toe. That's another one. Is turf toe? Oh, they sound terrible. You know? Tennis elbow, I think, would be even worse because, like, that's that hinge. And that hinge, you use that hinge way more than you think. Like, you use your foot more with every step, but, I mean, that's just, that takes away your power. That makes lifting anything a freaking pain in the butt. Ugh. I would not be encouraged by that. Well, are you a golfer? I golfed a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. CKM was a golfer. Not a very good one. About the story of my life. Done a lot of shit. Not good at anything. Wow. It went to go from that to Jar of Flies by Alice in Chains. Hey. That is a freaking phenomenal EP. So, hey. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyway. We have to move right along to Brutal Sphincter with Prohibit Anime. This right here has been brought to you by Waterblanc. Am I going to have to find it specifically in that? I probably will have to. Okay, that's fine. We can do it. We can do it. So, where are we looking specifically? Well, that just... that just pisses me off. That is track number something or other. Can somebody give me a track listing? Apparently not. That is too much to ask for. I hate you, you old bastard. You old bastards. Ah! Okay, here we go. Prohibit Anime. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Alice in Chains is still something that I listen to just a ton. If I ever get into an Alice in Chains binge, it easily would increase those totals by 200 to 300 listens, or scrobbles, anytime I ever get into a mood. Because whenever I get into an Alice in Chains mood, that's all I want to listen to for a while, you know? Like, one of the things I do so often, all the time, is I go out and take drives. You know, I just go out and I drive. Calms me down. You know, it's relaxing for me. I'm weird. I don't care. If I'm ever in an Alice binge, there's potential. In fact, during one such drive, which was all, by the way, like around this area, like I did not even exit the county. One such drive, I listened to all 3 of the original Lane Staley studio albums while on this drive. Like, I think I was probably on the border of the county, like from pillar to post 3 different times in like 3 different directions. Because Uniontown's right in the heart of Fayette County. So I was up this way toward Connellsville. I was back this way toward Masontown. I was down this way by like Lakeland and I forget what the small town is down there. That's not Mount Pleasant, that's by Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter. So I was like, nah, whatever. Like, if you remember old Family Circus comics that they had with the newspaper, and whenever one of the kids like was walking around and doing a bunch of stuff, how they do that little walk pattern that shows where they're at, and it goes in all different directions. That's probably what, if I had something that was logging what my route was, that's how it would look. It would have looked ridiculous. It would have looked positively ridiculous. But I really enjoy. Yeah, that's the thing, Sebastian. That's only if I'm in that mood. Like lately, what I've done with drives, I've been buying a lot more catalog titles on Discogs recently. So I've been getting some mailers here and there because of a thing I'm doing called the 1180. Don't look it up. You're not going to find anything about it. It's something that I've created for myself. If you want to learn more about it, I can show you it. It's ridiculous. So I've been listening to a lot of albums straight through that I've just recently bought. Catalog stuff that I've heard before in most cases, but maybe haven't heard in a long time and haven't ever owned, period. So up next we have Faithless by Rush. Do not want to forget about that. This is off of Snakes and Arrows. Really, really underappreciated album, I think. I think Snakes and Arrows is a pretty underappreciated album. That is also pretty good. Oh gosh. See, whenever I was in college, we had a beautiful campus. It was in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. So just walking around that campus, or like walking around the small town, the small college town that was attached to it, was always really, really fun to do. Especially during the winter time. Especially in 2006, because at that point, Ashes Against the Grain had been released by Agalok. And, yeah. Holy fuck. Listening to Falling Snow while it's actually snowing sounds like it's, like, kind of dumb. You know, like, oh, you're taking it way too literally. It's amazing how a song can actually take on the face of what its title is. It's perfect. It is honestly perfect. But yeah, that's something that's just always been super duper fun for me. I've loved driving for a long, long time. To the point that I now have no new routes that I can create in this area. Because I've explored so much. And there's a lot of areas that I just won't touch. Because whenever I drive, I don't want to have to, like, watch out for dead man's curves every 5 seconds, so I deliberately avoid those. Oh fuck, that's right, that KO dot is coming out tomorrow, isn't it? Fuck. And there's new Malady. Holy shit! I did not know about the Malady EP. That album last year was so freaking ridiculous, man. It was so good. Like, it's not easy to approach at all. But fuck if it isn't really, really good. And that reminds me to put that stuff on my wish list on Discogs. If it's even on there. Because, man, owning a physical copy of that would be pretty sweet. What's the worst Korn song? I've always thought that Hey Daddy was really, really weird and creepy and bad. Like, it's more of a meme than anything. Like, it's a decent enough song, but you just cannot get away from that Hey Daddy. Just, like nails on a chalkboard for me, you know? Even though it's the same Jonathan Davis. It's the same John Davis that we have known from, you know, the debut all the way up to that point on Issues. So that for me is the Korn song that I always immediately think of as ugh. No thank you. What is the worst anal blast? All of them! They're all terrible! No butt blasphemy from me. This is a Christian Minecraft server, thank you. We don't talk about Stan and the Devil. No, we don't talk about Stan. So who out of all you is going to be going down to Area 51 to see if you can't catch a glimpse of some Allens? Who's going to storm Area 51 see some Allens? Fear Inoculum is the best album of all time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's back up a little bit here. That's a hard no from me, Captain. Honestly, there's going to be a Rank 'em All of Tool very, very soon. I'm going to be working on that this weekend as well, so I need to get that out. That's going to be tough. Because personally speaking, there's one album that is kind of unpopular among fans that I just adore. So that's going to be rough. Mega's going to go catch some. She's going to get a glimpse of some Allens. She wants to know if Allens are real. I do too. Do Allens exist? If you ever want to have fun, take a word that you don't like, or just a random word, and turn it into something else. Make aliens Allens. Make Satan into Stan. Turn vagina to Virginia. It's a blast. It's so much fun. Your friends are just like, the fuck is he talking about? Is he stupid? And then, well, actually, no. If it's your friends, they realize it's you, and they're just like, oh, well, that's just freaking Sunday for him. So he's just a tried and true slow ball. Garden of Shadows with Twilight Odyssey coming up next. Slow ball. That's a brand new insult. I don't even think that's an insult. It's from the album Oracle Moon, which looks superbly old school, based off of the cover here. But I don't think it is. I think this is relatively recent. Slew bath. Somebody give the guy a hug. New Rammstein's pretty cool. I really enjoyed the album. I didn't review it because I was in the middle of a large. Like if you want a hiatus, just consider the 4-month exodus between videos, between Devin Townsend's Empath and the retirement announcement video. That was some time, right? Oh, this is from 2000. Okay, yeah. The production now does speak toward that era. I figured that was a little old school just by looking at that cover. You might be able to confirm this, Waterblowing, considering I'm sure you really scoured a lot of stuff. Late 90s, early part of the 2000s. Covers similar to what you see with that Garden of Shadows album, kind of that picturesque, there's a moon in the background, you know. The way in which the logo and the title are kind of like blended in with the colors and don't pop or stick out. You know, you kind of have to squint to see it. Real popular at the time. You know, real popular part of that time, no? I think there's a lot of albums that had sort of that version of packaging production value. And that was a lot of like smaller offshoot labels usually that did that. Where's Avocado Boy? Avocado Boy. Sound of Perseverance, I give a pass because it does have a little bit more detail. But yeah, you could almost toss that on board. You could tell that they were going simple, especially whenever you got to the Fragile Art of Existence from Control Denied. €2 from Maru wanted to hear the flaming sideburns with soul shaking. I don't know why I said it like that. Because I wanted to. Why'd you put your keys on the table? Because Guacamole, he left. He had to go. He was wasn't going to sleep. I forget what he was doing. But yeah, he left already, unfortunately. Despite the name Guacamole, he's a good guy. Gotta say, good, solid individual. Yeah, there's been problems with Super Chat all day, so those of you that have made it work, good on you. If you're having problems, then just hit it with the next stream. Like I said, next stream will probably be Monday or Tuesday. It's 2:21. Mara, I know hers is heading toward number 1. Is that still correct, my lady? My pretty little Maru, doesn't work as well as with Ember. Sorry. You miss out on the cool guy. Guacamole. Nibbler. Yeah. Yep, correct. Song is Twilight Odyssey by the band Garden of Shadows. Meatmun. Meatmun. Should I say Elliot? I like Meatmun. I don't know why. I think it's because of that whole big rant that we did on Tuesday, where we made it like this super Jamaican thing. That was fun. Yeah, I'll copy paste that over here for you, pal. Shaboing. Sam Burnside, we have yours coming up next. We have Into the Mighty Forest by Satyricon. And we have some Rio with Laboratory. We have Unleash the Archers also coming up, as well as the Flaming Sideburns with Soul Shaking. I need to look at some timestamps here real quick. Uno Mas. Uno Momentous. See details. So I like to try to do things in sequential order. Sometimes that doesn't always happen because I'm looking at 2 different things. I'm a simple man. Okay, so yes, it will be Satyricon Into the Mighty Forest. We have Laboratory by Riol. Then we will have Unleash the Archers with Awakening. And then Flaming Sideburns with Soul Shaking. That's how we going. That's how we playing. Very welcome. Meet the Mun. Meet the Mun. Oh, so much fun. Just say that. Yeah, this is pretty good. Whenever I see the name Garden of Shadows, I immediately think of the band Hanging Garden for some reason. Which, they're 2 different beasts. Very, very different bands, but it's the first thing that comes to mind. And also the thought that there are a lot of bands that are very similar to this that existed during that era. Like, that was the hot thing. There were a lot of upstart death metal bands that were showing up all over the world, kind of making the second generation, or like the second wave of death metal. This is also a time where a lot of the first expansions of death metal really became very well beloved. You know, you had your cynics and your atheists, you know, your jazz death metal, you had Opeth, which was doing progressive death metal, you know, you had subsections that were there. But at this point in time, you still had a lot of pure death metal out there. These days, it's hard to just call something flat out death metal for folks. You ever notice that? You might notice that. You ever looking up something? They don't just say death metal anymore. There's got to be adjectives and shit. Might Smashing Pumpkins suck nowadays? They're not, because Billy Corgan's not totally dedicated to music. Billy Corgan is also the owner of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. How technical can you get with metal? Pretty technical, really. But remember this, speed doesn't always translate into effectiveness. You could be the fastest player on earth, but you could still bore people. This is unequivocally melodic death metal. No, I'm not going to change your mind with that. Never mind. Symphonic melodic death metal. See, now we're adding adjectives. We're adding adjectives. Yeah, I would say that this is more toward the pure definition of melodic death metal. Because what a lot of folks are utilizing for mellow death is actually more of a snapshot of the Gothenburg sound. But it just became shortened to melodic death because reasons. When I think about technical death metal, it's rather technical. I require further studies and learning. I need to go back to metal college. I was never good at technical metal. Technical metal can be good. But technical metal, if the only reason why you should like a band is because they are technically virtuosos, that's not enough. You know? That's not enough. That's basically saying we should all appreciate classic composers because they composed. You know? Actually, it's not a very fair comparison at all. That's like, okay, that's like saying that you should respect Yngwie Malmsteen and Eddie Van Halen purely because they're good at guitar. You know, it should be a foregone conclusion that you like the stuff, which is very, very untrue. There's a lot of Van Halen stuff I can get into, but there's also a boatload that I can't. Their first couple records are great hard rock, but overall, whenever it comes to songwriting, it's kind of hit or miss. You're going to get that with any sort of like arena rock band. Whenever it comes to Malmsteen, dude can shred a guitar and he can flash a solo. And he's had some decent singers throughout his run that have made some classic songs, like some great tracks. But, again, sometimes beggars really can't be choosers. And there's only so much that you can sort of do to really prove yourself. Plus, Malmsteen's kind of a dick. Into the Mighty Forest by Satyricon. Ranking them all Yngwie would be really weird. Number one would probably just be because he's a dick. Sebastian, you have a really good point. But I'm also thinking about bands that play fast and technical and get lumped into the category. Like, I'm even looking at Rings of Saturn. Like, I'm looking at some of that Inhuman speed. That obviously has a little bit of manipulation, you know. You can easily bore somebody by being overly technical. And it's not because it sounds highbrow or like beyond recognition, like you just can't understand it. Songwriting is so key. You might be able to do the fancy tricks and play with a lot of speed, but what can you do with it? You know? How can you put this into a track and have it sound awesome? You know? Speed alone does not make it awesome. New metal's pretty good. Okay. Quick little question. Quick little question for everybody in chat. Are you 13 years of age or older? Oh, this is only available in US or Canada. Oh dear. Well, that kind of stinks. Okay, well, yikes. Well, that feels really wrong. Okay, Okay, it's only available in the US and Canada. That's not cool. I want to include everybody. I wanted to include everyone, so I don't know if I can do this now. That doesn't seem very fair to our Euro collective, which is probably half the chat right now. We know I know Waterblanc is from Europe. Maru is from Europe. Sebastian, I'm pretty sure you're from the States. Meet Mun, you're probably from the States. Mango, I know, is from the States. I have no idea where Flynn is from. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that are in chat. Okay, Flynn's from Las Vegas. Very cool. Thank you very much for letting me know. I don't think Riffy Boy is here any longer. Album Reviewer Guy, you're from the States, aren't you? Or are you from England? I think you're from the States. I'm trying to remember all this shit. It's hard. Corey Burnside up in the building. He's definitely not from the States. He's tossing 8 to hear Love You to Death from Type O Negative. That is 8 pounds? Yeah. Sam is from Derbyshire. Felicity is from Chicago. Yeah, I really don't like being exclusionary. That kind of stinks. It's a shame that it has that, little condition applied to it. Corey's also putting it toward number 1, because number 1 is King. Sam wouldn't be either. Sam wouldn't be eligible either, unfortunately. I don't like that. Damn, I was hoping that was worldwide. That'd have been super sweet. Now I get to tell you what it is. Now I get to tell you what it is, and people gonna be mad. People gonna wish that we could do this. But like I said, I don't really feel comfortable having folks where I basically just have to say, "You're out, can't do it for you. You know, you can't win." That's not very fair. That's not very nice. Would you want to come back if somebody just straight up said no for you? Sounds racist, you know. Discriminatory. It's 986, by the way, toward number 1. Number 1. 86. Can I do math? That's a 3. That's an 8. That's a 10. Let me tell you, number 1 just running away with it right now. Running wild. Yeah, that was... The giveaway was going to be for a download code to Tool's Fear Inoculum. It was something that Justin has, and he was willing to offer as a prize. So unfortunately, I don't feel that it's that it's right to not be able to offer that to everybody in chat. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that, Justin. I'm sorry that I can't completely honor your wishes. Is there a calculator on my phone? No, I use Google for translations. And whenever it comes to numbers, like, I try to do it all in my head. Are the numbers wrong? Oh, excuse me. I hear Two Mold's new album. I've heard pieces of it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. Alright. Up next, we have Unleash the Archers. This was recommended by Meat Mun over on the PayPal side. Like I said, I go by timestamp. That way we get this done in order as best as possible. It's not always perfect. I thought that was what it was. Unleash the Archers with Awakening. Let's do it. Let's silence this ad before it even starts. Wow, it's a Disney ad. Disney, who can't even send money to the Bahamas where they send their ships. Those carnival ships. Can't even help the Bahamas out. What a fucking company. What a piece of shit. Oh, you know what? I did bat out of order there. Damn. Real was supposed to be next. Oh well. Real will be next anyway. We're going to review the new agonist. That's a big I don't know, to be perfectly real with you. No one here like November's Doom? November's Doom is good. Whew. I mean, nobody is a fan of IWDKY. Oh, wait, shit. IYDKM IGHTKY. Give me that. I can see why nobody would list that. Damn, that's hard. You know what sucks about it? It is one of my favorite typo songs. Spiritus Mortis? I don't know the name. Nah, yeah, no one's chewing on cables. I think Blazey's still back there. She is. She's still back there. Mittens is sleeping over here in one of the monster boxes, and the other kitties have left the studio, probably to sleep. This is... I always forget that there's a good chance that most of the kitties will never be on camera because this is usually whenever they sleep. They sleep during the day. November's Doom is pretty solid. It's they are in it. They kind of were born out of an age where a lot of similar sounding groups were coming. So there was a scene that kind of came with it. So you have November's Doom, Daylight Dies, Insomnium, just to name a few. And Swallow the Sun was also from right around that same era. So it was a rich time if you enjoyed like melodic doom metal. It's the best metal album of all time. Metal Machine Music by Lou Reed. Enjoy that one. You can't get into that album, you can't be a metalhead. No, I'm kidding. Robots can't get into that computer. Legitimately, what was the best metal album of all time? Like I said, I really like Rust in Peace by Megadeth. I love that album. I think it's amazing. But there's no one right opinion about that. It has to be, what is your favorite metal album of all time? What's the album that for you is just the top of the top? You know? What's the album you keep going back to? You know? Who is better than Metal Machine Music? I don't know, man. That's a debate. We're throwing down, boy. Metal Machine Music is better because there's no lyrics. You gotta be real highbrow, have no lyrics. Nothing but feedback noise. Sun, you know, drone with those extended riffs. Please, amateur hour. You don't need to have just feedback noise. Just straight feedback noise. It makes no intelligible sense. That was clearly just used as a method to piss off his record label. So your favorite metal album of all time is Hamarita from November's Doom? Then there you go. That's your top album of all time. Bingo. It's really, really cool to find out other people's opinions. But you'll never really have a true answer to what is the best. Like, you'd have a whole subsection of folks that would probably say maybe like Master of Reality or like even Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, you know, the self-titled album. You'd have some folks that would probably throw in Judas Priest, you know, Painkiller, or even like British Steel. Some would probably go the Iron Maiden route and say, you know, Peace of Mind or Number of the Beast. Others would go more modern or, you know, more thrash-oriented with like Rain and Blood by Slayer, Master of Puppets by Metallica, maybe Rust in Peace even by Megadeth. You know, you're going to get a lot of different answers to the same question. And the funny thing about it is, very seldomly are those answers wrong. And really, they're never wrong, because even if you disagree with the choice, the person that made that list or the person that has that opinion, to them, as so long as they're not just trolling or being like contradictory, contrarians, that's their legitimate favorite album. Then who are you to say otherwise? Who are you to say otherwise? Like, everybody was upset because Anthony Fantano gave Fear Inoculum a low score. That's his opinion, And there are plenty of people out there that agree. There's a lot of people that just did not like the album for one reason or another. So his opinion is not one that is alone. And that was before the video was even put out, so they weren't just following him like a bunch of flannel wearing zombies or something like that, I love Anthony, man, dude. So I'm just still so stoked that we had that opportunity to talk a bit on Tuesday. It's been a while since we've talked. We used to talk a lot more often back whenever we first got started, because we got started in this game together, as most of you know. Your mom got mad at Anthony? Why? You guys do the tool review? Y'all just a tool family. Family of tools. One of y'all's like a shovel. Wait, that's Triple H, sorry. There's like a trowel. I don't know why I'm thinking about garden tools. Like power drill. Your dad will probably want to take credit for that. Say, I'm the power drill. Citadel by Nebuliferous Gas. Meat Mun. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. Time to dance. Time to dance. Rio with Laboratory. You have to make sure you say it with a little bit of extra oomph. Not too much oomph. Right amount of oomph. Oh my. That is anime as hell. Let's do it. I feel like I'm watching Panty and Stocking and Garter Belt. That is something else. I like these little chibis that they have drawn on those videos. It's like what you would expect that you would see whenever somebody's actually trying to sing that note and hold it. That is exactly what you would think. No, what? Oh, is that to the mention of Panty and Stocking and Garter Belt? Yeah, I watched that anime. That anime was funny. That's like one of the few I've actually saw that was like not, I guess, super well known. Along with The Devil as a Part-Timer. I have a penchant for just like wanting to go to Japan. Period. Like, I don't care if it doesn't start till like I'm in my 50s or like I'm retirement age and all of a sudden I go from, talking about how boomers are, ridiculous to becoming the boomer. That'd be the title of my solo album whenever I'm 65 and on AARP, Becoming the Boomer. But anyway, I want to do a lot of travel, man. That's one thing I want to do with my life eventually. Like, I want to see just about every continent except for Antarctica. Like, there's at least one place I'd like to visit in just about every continent. Africa, it's really, really, you know, everyone expects it. It's Egypt. I'd love to go to Cairo. That'd be super cool. If things calm down in South Africa, I would like to go down there. Europe, I just want to go. So many different places in Europe, it's sad. Asia, it's all Japan, man. I don't have much of a desire to want to go to China, unless I'm like doing sightseeing, I guess. Maybe we'll go to Taiwan. Australia, hell yeah. I have to make it to Australia sometime before I die. Preferably with my dad, because my dad's going to go to Australia for like 25 years. And South America, I think it'd be kind of cool to be in either Brazil or Argentina during the World Cup. I think that'd be super, super cool. Like, that'd be super neat to be a part of. Because if they have the World Cup in America, I mean, you're going to get the fans. And you're going to get part of that experience. But you're not going to get the real experience. You're not going to get the fucking insanity that you would get if you're saying Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, for a World Cup. Or even if I were in England or wherever the Champions League finished up, wherever the final game would be, even just as this complete novice that knows jack and shit about the Premier League, watching it on TV is cool. Being there would be super cool. You know, I'm a sports guy, you know. So, if I take in local culture, I want to take in a sporting event too. Like, that's one of the things that to me is important, as silly as that sounds. I visit Lapland if I like mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes, they're terrible. And I'm kind of a magnet. So if you're a magnet too, oh boy, if we hung out, it'd be a mosquito party. And if you ever met my mother, Christ. You guys could attract every mosquito in the world, and then we could eradicate them all. Fighting sideburns with soul shaking. Coming up next. That's what we got. And that's where we're going. Up after this, we have Love You to Death by Typo Negative, which very well may be, very well could be the last song of the night, potentially. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. What Premier League team do I root for? I don't know much about the Premier League, that's the thing. I'm a complete and total novice and scrub whenever it comes to it. So, I only know basic little things like, yeah, like the Manchester United and stuff like that. I don't know much. For some strange reason, though, and I think it's always because my boss, my manager, whenever I worked at the music store, was a huge Beatles fan. I always subtly, like, kind of, without even thinking about it, look at Liverpool scores, too. But, like, Crystal Palace is also an interesting one to always check out for me because it's just such an interesting name. I like interesting stuff like that. We have the MLS here in the States, and I'll follow that a little bit. There's been tons of expansions, so it's been interesting to watch. Like, they have a team in Cincinnati now to go along with the crew that they have in Columbus. I'd love for them to pick up a team in Pittsburgh. That'd be amazing. We've had an indoor soccer team here, the Riverhounds, for a long time. Like, I want to say it's been at least, I remember reading about these guys whenever I was a kid, and that was, good God, 25 years ago. You know, when do you stop being a kid, like, officially? Is it 13? Is it 10? Like, when does it stop? Like, someone tell me. I have no idea. I'm dumb as shit. So obviously, if they've been able to keep an indoor soccer team here for so long, or indoor football team, should I say, why couldn't we handle an MLS franchise? I think we could. If Cincinnati can, why I can't wait. What makes them so special? Well, they probably put a franchise in Cincinnati so they'd actually win something, you know? Bengals certainly aren't going to win them a Super Bowl anytime soon. The Cincinnati Reds aren't going to win them a World Series. That's it. They just have the two major sports. You're a Liverpool fan whenever you're a kid? Okay. Arsenal's another one I know about. The thing is that I used to follow SportsCenter a good bit whenever they were talking about all big trades that were happening during like the mid and late 2000s, the first part of the 2010s. I don't do that anymore. So I'm a complete scrub. I know nothing about rosters, who is where. I participate in this like predictor app for NBC. I just put in scores. Like, there's no method to my madness whatsoever. It is a complete crapshoot. Which is, like, I know, super insulting to those who actually follow the sport and makes me a really, really bad sports fan. But I have to be honest, you know. It was kind of like whenever I was trying to learn about cricket. Which was weird for me to say because cricket is also the name of my tech department's little kitten that she just got this year. But the game, the sport, cricket. Whenever I watched it being played, I didn't understand it one single iota. For years, whenever I caught it late at night on like Fox Sports, you know, number 16, you know, that plays nothing but sports from outside of the United States, or they play like obscure sports from the United States, like street luge or ultimate frisbee. I didn't understand it for the longest time because the announcers, they're not speaking toward novices or beginners. You know, they are trying to reflect this information to those who understand the game and know it. And then there's, of course, the slang that goes with the game. So, I was lost. I was completely lost. I can only imagine that's what it must be like for somebody who has never watched a single game of football, American football, and then they watch it. And they hear all this, you know, shit that comes out of the people's mouths. They just gotta be like, this is dumb. I didn't think that cricket was dumb. I thought it was, you know, a more sophisticated form of baseball. Kind of interesting sport. Here's Love You to Death by Type O Negative. Ibrahimovic? I have not. Honestly speaking, I watched one game of the Women's World Cup, and I feel like a bad person for doing that. Not watching the game, but I feel bad for not watching more of the games because I was legitimately excited for it to start up. And I watched the very first American game where they decimated, like, I forget who it even was, like South Korea or like South Vietnam or something like that. Like, they just tarnished this poor team like 14-0. It was ridiculous. Meatman strikes again. He says we're going to have one more song. After Love You to Death, we're going to have Niebla the Scars. We're going to have Petrichor Weaves Black Noise. That's going to be our closer for the evening, it would appear, as of right now. Thank you very much, Meatman. I appreciate it muchly. Those have been some bigly donations. See, there you go, like, that's another reason why I would love to go to England and go to a sports bar. I understand that's like playing with fire, you know. Everyone's going to be like, oh, you're an American, and then they're going to make fun of American football and baseball and all that stuff, and I'm just going to have to, you know, eat crow. Whatever, that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. What am I going to do, sit here and say, yeah, well, in baseball, the batter hits a ball that's really fast. I'm going to sound like a fucking retard. Pardon the slur. I'm going to sound stupid. But anyway, I would like to go into like a pub and sit down with somebody who would just sort of take me in, you know, take me under and You know, really thrust me into the culture. That'd be really, really cool. I'm trying to remember the name of the film. It was very similar to that. You know, guy came to live with his English relatives and got into like those clubs that follow around footy. They follow around the football clubs. Shit. They made a sequel to it too, and the sequel was fucking awful. God, Green Street Hooligans. There it is. But there's a Finnish version of baseball which is much more popular over here than the American one. Interesting. What is the difference, Maru? If you don't mind my asking, I'm curious. Because I've learned that there are different rules in even Asian baseball as to what qualifies as a no-hitter. Like, they don't count combined efforts as a no-hitter because it wasn't just one pitcher. And there's different dimensions as well. Oh, it's faster. Well then, yes, it is definitely better than the baseball we have in America right now. They were trying to, they tried to enforce rules that had like a pitch clock. It has not improved the pace of game at all. It has not affected pace of play whatsoever. I haven't done much with baseball since the All-Star break because the Pirates just sort of decided whenever they were on the All-Star vacation, you know, the little break that they get, they just didn't really decide to come back. At least it seemed that way. Picture there's the ball straight up in the air. Football is overrated. I'm sorry to get it, Barfield. I can't accept this opinion unless it is stated more ghetto. But avoid using slurs. Slurs are bad. They won't fly. Indians got shafted by politics last year. Dude. The Indians got shafted by themselves in that series against the Cubs. That World Series. Y'all should have won that series. You really should have. But you did have something very large against you, and that was Back to the Future. Back to the Future predicted that shit. It's wild. I'll tell you what's not going to happen this year. Cubs aren't winning the series this year. I'll be honest with you, neither are the Dodgers. If the Dodgers make it to the World Series again, they're not winning again. Well, they haven't won yet, should I say. But it's going to be 3 straight years that they lose. They're new Texas Rangers. They can sure make it to the dance, but they ain't going to win it. This old school pro wrestling, I love what's happening right now. I love the fact that we have a new war brewing. This is a boom period for pro wrestling, and I dig it. I'm happy about it. What are the top 10 future predictions that happen from movies? I don't know. That's the only one I know of. And really, it didn't get the whole of the culture correct. It fucked up. Sam Burnside going in with 5 more. When you hear Dead Winter Days by Agalok, also going toward numero uno. Number 1, which is clearly running away from home because Mama made it some soup and it ain't chicken noodle. At 6:16. Thank you very much. We're going to be extended by another song. $128.54 on day 1. I think I know which one's a guarantee. But we'll have to see. Things have looked like guarantees before and then have gone the opposite direction. Petrichor weaves black noise. The Obliviscaris. Let's do it. Let's mute this ad for Les Miserables, the musical phenomenon comes to Pittsburgh. That's nice. That's nice, dear. When does the stream end? After Dead Winter Days by Agalok, I will be heading out. So that will be indeed the last song for this evening. Unless anybody's in the middle of a donation right now! If you are, then go ahead and push it through. We'll get it in. Thanks to Corey Burnside. He donated the £8 to hear Love You to Death by Type O Negative. Sam donated the £5 here for Dead Winter Days, which will be coming up after this. This Neobliviscaris track has been funded by Meatmon, otherwise known as Elliot. Elliot, my dude, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody who has come out and who has donated so far today. This has been an awesome first stream. It's a little bit shorter than what some of the others will probably be. Usually I run about anywhere between 4 to 5 hours on a normal day. But today I'm going to call it a little early. Call this an introduction. Next stream is going to be either next Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to have to look at my calendar. It will be on the Facebook page. Guaranteed. I like Nightwish. Yeah, Nightwish is pretty good. I always still have a little bit of time left to get a Garfield. Man, that Garfield I'm just noticing in your little button there, man, he is swole. That brother's gonna walk into the gym and straight up punch the person that, just won the award for most swole human. He's just gonna punch him in the face and say, "Bitch, where's my lasagna?" What's up with Baby Metal? They're a band. They're a metal band. People don't think they're a metal band, but they're a metal band. 3 little girls. Well, they're not little anymore. One's in their 20s. No, they might all be in their 20s at this point. Shit, I don't remember. They're going to have their own anime, or they were supposed to have their own anime. I needed to be in it, but I'm not in it, so maybe that's why they don't have their own anime, if they don't have their own anime. You know, they do the musics. I'm sure they're idolized by a lot of teenage Japanese boys because they secretly hope to put themselves inside of one of the members' Virginias. You know, that wonderful age of fandom. That wonderful age of fandom. Whenever you're just finding out about yourself and then you just think to yourself, And then you meet Sarah Jezebel Deva and realize she's a cunt. Oh well. Shit happens. And it's not just because I had a bad experience whenever I met her. It's because of Angitoria, too. Whatever the hell that band's name was. Ugh. That album was wretched. Ugh. I was looking through some old notebooks. It was her solo or like new band project, whatever the hell. It was released in 2006, and I just put worst album of the year. That. As it was. It was ugh. It's unlistenable. If I would have had an option to put a 5th one on this, a 5th video on here, I would have given you an album of the year for every year ever since I started. Which is not ever since I started the channel, but since I started reviewing albums, which would have taken it all the way back to like the year 2000, or maybe 01. However, I don't think that's going to happen, so I also don't think very many people would care. I could be wrong though, I mean, usually every time I think something is going to be big, it's not, And every time I think something's not going to do much, it does. It's weird. It's like I just need to reverse my thinking. I'll be fine. I'll understand everything. I will understand the universe. In order for me to understand the universe, I just need to invert the universe. There's some philosophy for you. Damn. Holler at your boy if you like philosophy. Holler at your boy if you're a philosopher. Holler at your boy if you're a philosopher, Spinner. A velociraptor. A flossing velociraptor. Even. You're enjoying a Crown Royal. I'm enjoying a very nearly empty bottle of water and sun-kissed strawberry lemonade. It's too late at night for philosophy. I came, I saw, I enjoyed myself. Or in the words of, in the order of somebody caught in the Me Too movement, I saw, I came, I'm in jail now. Or in the words of Bill Cosby, I saw, I drug, I came. This part of the show is being brought to you by My Dead Career. Donald Trump's case. I saw, I grabbed, huge. Need a very cold shower. That is accurate. I do. I need a cold shower, ice cubes to be like placed directly on my junk for punishment for that one. Oh, that'd be terrible. That's the worst part of legitimately taking a cold shower. Like, anytime I ever do anything that causes my muscles to strain, I like to take a colder shower than usual. It's whenever it hits, like, first of all, the back of your neck. It's always like, ugh, like you get that shiver that goes from it hitting you for the very first time, and then you get real used to it. Whenever you turn around and it hits you right in the wing nuts, right in the yin yang. Oh, right in the old bean. That's whenever it just gets rough. It's even worse whenever it hits and the water just slides down. So like your legs are like different places that haven't been hit by the cold water yet. So you slowly but surely, like, your body is starting to feel it. You just feel the tension of getting used to cold. Yeah, I did see that about Isan. I don't know if we're going to get to it, unfortunately. I think that might end up being next year. If not, it'd be very, very late 2019, which we're already getting. I can't believe it's September already, if I'm being honest. This summer has felt like it lasted about 67 minutes. That's about it. Like, it did not feel like a very long summer at all. And that's depressing. So I love it. You know, I like summer. Summer is good to me, usually. Except whenever it's not. It's been a rough year. Oh, brief Twitter reviews? Like from time to time. Have I checked out the new As I Lay Dying stuff? No, And honestly, it's not even because of the whole Tim Lambestis thing. I've just been lazy whenever it comes to it. Because I wasn't too attached to the band to begin with. So for me to kind of just walk away from it, it's kind of easy to do. Despite the fact that I have Frail Words Collapse on CD, that's probably the only album from theirs I'll ever own. If I'm being 100% honest with you. And I still remember whenever this album came out, when Portal of I came out, I remember looking at the name of the band and saying to myself, how do I even say this? Neobliviscaris, Neobliviscaris, Nebrabaskala. That last one caused Mittens to look at me like, excuse me? I may have just swore at him and Cat. He's looking around frantically. He's like, what the hell's going on? Excuse you? What was that? Alright, we're finishing off with a track from Pale Folklore from Agalloch. This is Dead Winter Days. There have been so many people, and I appreciate this. So many of you have said that you discovered Agalloch through this channel, so it's only apt that we end with an Agalloch song from today's stream. So, very cool, very cool. Is that pizza? Well, thank you. Where'd she go? Oh, okay. Well, one final song and then I'm done. Okay. So just place it in the kitchen. Thank you. Ooh, I have pizza. Yay. Was that? I guess, yeah, sure. Oh, Mittens one's out. Maybe Corny does too. Sorry. Anyway, that was random. Well, thank you everybody who is out today and who has participated in the bid war, the opening round of the bid war. As we take a look at how things are going, you can see it clearly if you have eyes. Number one is clearly in the lead. Those of you who want to see numbers 2, 3, or 4, which apparently is like 2 of you, you have to get to work. You have to get to work. That's all I can say. The stream on Monday or Tuesday, whatever that it ends up being, will be a little bit longer than this one. This one's going to be, at its end, probably about 3 hours and 45 minutes. I'd like for the next one to be on about 4.5 hours. Maybe head toward 5. We'll see. Well, I sincerely say you're welcome, Meat Mun. It is not a problem. They are a beautiful, fantastic band that really deserves all the love and praise that they receive. It is kind of criminal that it sort of took a lot of time for them to get that reference. I think it just took a guy who was really, really obsessed with the Mantle and really loved that album and Ashes Against the Grain. Just kind of giving his opinion to a new generation, I suppose. With a memento, I do believe these two gatos want to depart my kingdom. Little ones. No, sorry, unicorn. Alright. I'm going out. I'll be out shortly, guys. Someone in, others one out. I need a traffic light, that's what I need. Put a traffic light right there by the door. Yeah, Agalloch is just this curious little band from Oregon that has definitely made one of the best metal albums of all time. Y'all won that number one definitely is making me wonder if Rust in Peace truly is number one for me still. Like, I have to legitimately now think about the last 8 years of my life and think, hey, you know, what have you listened to more? What has had more of an impact? You know? So, if we do happen to see that, That'll be an interesting video, that's for sure. To say it briefly, it will be quite interesting. Hopefully we'll have a little bit bigger crowd on Monday as well, Monday or Tuesday. I did notice it was a little bit small in here by comparison. $1 from Justin coming in. Oh, God. $1 toward number 2. No song attached. Justin, I'll send you an email. I'll send you an email, dude, once we're wrapped up here and I eat something. I'll send you an email, brother. I didn't copy that code or anything, man. I don't need it. I have a copy. I don't have a physical copy, mind you, but I have that promo copy, and that's all I need. I'm okay. If I happen to find a physical copy and it's not, $10,000, then sure, I'll probably pick it up. But probably out of fairness, since we have a very international crowd, Justin. I don't know if maybe your brother needs it or anything like that. That'd be the only thing I could think of. Because there's not much I can really do that's very... I just don't want it to seem... I don't want it to be unfair. That's why prizes have become a little bit more rare on the channel, because there have been so many situations where folks have won and they've had to, decline, or we've had problems with postage. Or not postage, but with the mail and all that. Almost going to be it. December, man. After the lists are finalized and posted in December, it's done. It's over. This is it. We have reached the last couple of months. That's... whew. It's partially comforting and partially terrifying. That's all that can be said about that. Partially comforting, partially terrifying. So, I mean, for 11 years, what else have I done? Well, I've done a lot. I mean, that's a really bad question, but that has been like the one constant thing for 11 years. So, wake up after all that and you're just going to like think, oh shit, what do I have to do for the channel today? And big answer is going to be nothing. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dead Winter Days by Agalok off of the album Pale Folklore. Forgot about that. Anyway, that's going to do it for us on this wonderful Thursday evening. Thank you all for coming out and supporting. Like I said, the next stream will be the first part of next week. I'd like to see all 4 of these videos make it to 600. I think that'd be awesome. I think it'd be really, really cool to add a little bit of extra for me to do before we hang it up. For you guys and for everybody else. I'd like to unlock that bonus. But for now, this is a great start. I will see you guys next time on Cover Killer Nation. Thanks to everybody who has donated. Thanks to everybody who stopped out. See you next time. Take care.